And here we go, guys. Yeah, we'll show my screen here right away. I can show you everything just coming in right now. And a big reaction to the overall market back to the upside initially, but selling off a little. I mean, not a huge move, 0.4 to the upside. I will sift through all of this, and I'll send you over to Neil and Sean.
Oh, geez. It went one way, then it went the other way.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? We are back.
pull.
Hopefully my mic is on. I was going to go over and do the trade of the day, but all right. So that just came out Fed minutes, and we got a nice little bump up there in Apple. We got a piece out, then we averaged in and just got taken out again back down there to the downside. So Apple, that was wild, man. I mean, I thought it was going to the upside there. And all of a sudden, the next thing I know, I'm stopped out of that long. All good, though. We'll be back in this name, but Apple right now just dancing around. That bottom was 149.83 coinciding right there. Let's watch out for this market. But look, it did the same move as it did earlier.
Yeah, they just rug pulled it.
Up and down. So watch out for this market.
Let's go to Brennan quickly because I think you got some updates coming through.
A few interesting things here already, guys. Fed minutes participants said a slower pace of rate hikes would be better to allow the FOMC to assess progress towards its goals and given time for what they've already done to work itself through the system. So a little bit of a change in some of the language already I'm seeing.
Yeah, so look, I just got a dip at 76 in AMD off of that. You'll see, I mean, I'm actually in position short on Intel, but I just got some AMD off that 76 when I saw that same thing come across the board there. I like this one for some strength. It's obviously 1.5% up, but it's been selling off. So it's some whipsaw action. If we can break VWAP, I like AMD to the longs. I'm seeing Apple make some moves. Like, it looks like we are going to that upside. You have to watch Nordstrom's because I just got that short. And that 22 level came into play pretty quickly for us on Nordstrom's. Man U's making a run as well. I am long that, but I don't think I'm concerned about Man U with this number. More about tech.
All right, let's go bang. Right there, when you believe in something, you got to get back into it. And we talked about this earlier, and it's like, here goes the market back up to the upside. We did get stopped out on that number. Oh my God, it's 1-0 Canada. No, it's not.
Don't do that.
Yep.
No,
Neil and I have it on the side here, so it's nothing.
Well, more you have it on
there
the
might
side.
have been a corner kick there. No.
Buffering.
Why is it buffering already? What, is this market just going too crazy? Here, I'm going to put it down a little bit.
What's happening,
on that. Okay. Yeah, I'm lowering the bit rate. Okay, here we go. Just meanwhile, I know not many people probably care about Canada watching this, but they do care about the market right now. There's a nice little upside move. We got back into Apple, and let's go Apple. You are running apple of my eye. AMD also $1 in the money right now as well. Let's get another piece out on AMD right now. Man, do I love this job. What's up, Brendan?
All right, this one causing a little bit of a move back to the downside here. The one in yellow saying many participants noted significant uncertainty towards the ultimate level for the Fed's funds rate needed to tame inflation, suggesting it was higher than previously expected. So that caused that move down.
Okay, well, all I see is like the market going back to the upside. We just broke VWAP on AMD here, and I'm looking to see if this can hold above VWAP. I'm going to trail this because sometimes you get a reaction to the minutes, and then it kind of tapers off as everyone's digesting things. So when you get the win, you do want to make sure you're going to lock that one in. It's just like any other snap news or snap number. You do wait for that bit of a pullback. So I slapped the trail on it. I said Man U I have to the long side, and it probably wouldn't care what the market was doing. Well, it's starting to care because I went from long in a consolidation to long breaking $18. So Man U, I do have some 1770s in there, but it just broke out the high of the day where I'm added to the position. This has been trending up on some deal speculation. Of course, that's going to be the big story. Still have some Neo from the morning short and Intel short, but I kind of feel like this might be an opportunity if the market gets back to the highs to reload an Intel short that I took at lunchtime at 29.85. So if we get up here past VWAP or at VWAP, maybe I want to short some Intel. Trailing stop now on AMD. Tesla, which was strong, is strong. What am I talking about? Is strong, almost 7%, high of the day as well. Looks like it's trying to break out 181.40. The market likes the minutes thus far.
They do. All right. Just loading up, making sure I can see this game here today. Okay, so just quickly there, AMC, we're actually taking the opportunity to get out of more AMC as well. Down here long at 755, just starting to piece out at 775 now as that starts to go. AMD, wow, big monster move upside. And then Apple, Oh man, we got stopped out. That's crazy. Like that's insane. We shouldn't have, but that's okay. We got right back in and bought some more shares upside there for Apple. I'm just making sure, like when I got I did have a little bit more shares when I got stopped out, but I was not expecting this move to the upside. So far so good here for Apple. We will talk a little bit more about this in a couple minutes with the trade of the day. So I'm going to go over there and get ready to rock and roll for that. And then Neil, you can take the wheel, my friend.
Yeah, no worries. They're actually just trailed out of NIO. I put a trailing stop in this thing off of this level, 1055. That's where we're getting our first sales. I wanted this to go all the way back down to $10 and kind of felt that once I had the top, you might get a chance at it. But the number, well, not the number, but the Fed minutes takes us the other direction. So I've been holding it pretty much all session long. Not the entire session. This is about 10 o'clock. We had that short. Trails in on AMD. If you're checking NVIDIA and looking at the chip space, got to respect that one as well. It took me out this morning, and we got away from it, thankfully, because it just started trending up. Basically the same thing here. I just like the support level on AMD at 76, a little bit better than playing NVIDIA. That looks pretty solid. That 63 that I like the short, that's probably a good place for a little bit of a dip buy. So I want to play them for strength. I still feel like Intel is going to be some weakness overall, and I don't want us to ignore the COP stock. It's on my radar. I'm looking at 56 if it comes back. Vista, deal news, them potentially being bought. And then Sean had mentioned AMC. I got trailed out of AMC, but you know what? It held 750. So this might be pretty solid if it comes back into the downside. $8 a monster level there. And I just got trailed out on AMD. So as quickly as it goes back up through 77 in VWAP, slams right back down. So I'm ringing the register there. It's all about where you want to go on the number. I like the 76. That's the level I liked this morning. I did take it on the way back in, stopped out, but then we got that on that number. This could be a good place for a reload on some Intel. Just Man U and Intel for me. If you see AGFS, that sucker is not going to move whatsoever. I don't know if we're getting more details out of this, but it has been whipsaw action so far. If you're having a quick look at what the futures basically did, all we did is go right back into the highs and are starting to pull back. So you've got a double top now forming on the NASDAQ at 11.9. The ES at 40.40, essentially the same thing. So we have a potential top end break here. So I'm going to be favoring some opportunities long if we break out that high, but you want something in the pocket. That's why I'm sticking with Intel short. If we do not get through these tops, and you get a bit of a sideways day where you're not breaking out, you want to be able to respect some of these highs there and then look for something that's short. And the reason behind Intel is, well, that's a trend to the downside. When the market was booming, when the other chip names were booming, it did that thing that it normally does, which is mostly sell off there, guys. So I don't know if we're going to be close to ready. You guys let me know in the year. Let's go to Brennan.
All right, one more thing of note I wanted to mention here. There's not a lot positive, really, outside of that first comment that I showed you in these minutes, but this one right here. Participants generally noted that the risk to inflation outlook remained tilted to the upside. That was, again, last month, but still not exactly very dovish at this point from the Fed officials. But let's take a pause. We'll come back to what's happening to the overall market, and we'll touch base on a few things we were looking at in the pre-market this morning. Sean's here ready to go. He's going to talk about one of his trades from this morning.
Hey guys, yeah, we got to get back to this market, so we'll do it pretty quickly. Make sure that you select and highlight with your phone that QR code below. Make sure you join us here at Day Trade the World, the #1 prop trading firm in the world. All right, the reason why we're starting with Apple here is because today we talked about Apple and I want to be bearish on the name. We put it on the sticky note that we're going to watch out for 150, right? 150 right into here for Apple. Oh, well, you can see it better on this side, I guess. 150 right in the middle there. So we were trying to go short against that 150. Now, this is why there was get out of here, sticky note. There was some controversy there in, I see Neil going crazy. Did Canada score or something here already? All right, so let's get back to business here. You might hear some excitement in the background about football, but here we go. Nice little upside move. We started the short early, and there was some problems in China. There was some dissent in their Foxconn plant, so on and so forth, plus COVID news. I definitely thought we were looking downside, but look what happened early. So I just want to go over what we did. So shorted in the pre-market, 149, 149.50. Did come back down. We were able to get a quick fill. But then as the market lifted, we went short again there at 149.70 or so, and there's the out at 150. As soon as 150 broke right here, we got out. So that allowed us to not suffer this pain. So this is the key thing about trading. Not every day are you going to be able to sit down in a trade and be right. We were wrong. So we take the 40, 50 cent hit here and get out of Dodge. And that way we don't have to worry about this rise up. Now, just recently here, we waited for it to come back and test the 200 period before going long. We just got taken out there on that the Fed minutes. But look at Apple now extending back to the upside. So we go short and we flip it over to now thinking longs into the end of the day. Why? Apple right now, 0.48. Look at the NASDAQ, 0.75, right? So this is why we initially went short in the first place. But as you can see, it now gets lifted up here, 151, a possible target in order to get out. So we're going to wait for that to come through, 151 target, take the longs. But watch out for that. This is another key point here. Look at the action that happens when numbers are released, right? We had a number at 10 o'clock, boom to the upside. We just had Fed minutes now. Fed minutes now just touched 149.70. The same minute was 150.70. That's a dollar move on Apple for no reason. So be very, very careful with that. It's Apple. It's your trade of the day. And I got to get back to the desk as we see what's going on in soccer.
Yeah, it's a little exciting in here right now. We'll touch base on a couple of things before we do that. This first, this is the 10-year right now. Back to the downside on this announcement, along with the 2-year as well, back to the downside. So Treasuries moving lower. The US dollar is also moving lower currently. Wanted to show this as well. Maybe a bit of a move downside here. This was, if you remember last week anyways, up about 82%. To 18%. We're back to 73.5 here on the half-point interest rate hike versus the 75-point interest rate hike to come in a couple of weeks. Remember, we get the next Fed decision coming up the second week of December, guys.
I saw it a bit late. So if you heard a bit of a hullabaloo behind us, it was Canada got a penalty shot and missed it. So yeah, that's a little bit disappointing. Obviously, look, we said there was whipsaw action, and I thought that you wanted to find some things in case we rejected the top to go short. I didn't get the VWAP short on Intel there. I know that's what I was talking about. That's the one I wanted to go to. I just missed it. We can go to my chart quickly, guys. This is as fast as it goes up. I'm trying to get this on the way back in. I was already in the short, but I want to be fading something. This is what I did pick. I went over to AMD. I talked about AMD. That pulled right back, so I'm going to get a chance at that 76 again. But you just wanted things to settle down because now you're sort of getting right back into the levels from earlier where you found support. So I'll buy 76s again if I can get it. I'm still in Man U, thankfully, because like this is going up on deal speculation. It hasn't really been responding to the market, but I just got an 18.20, so I bought the break on Man U after already taking it at 17.70.
Oh, it was Davies. It was Davies.
And now we're breaking higher. Again, it looked like Davies. It's just. So, anyways,
I mean, Davies is world-class player.
He's a world-class player.
That wasn't that bad of a penalty.
No, I'm not upset with the fact. His goalie makes a save.
Yeah.
He guesses right and he makes a save. As a player, what is he supposed to do?
Here we go. Oh, what? Oh my God! Cross into the box. Oh, I missed it. Okay. All right. I don't know how productive this afternoon show is going to be here if we're looking at soccer here. But yeah, you're still in Man U.
I can't believe we missed a penalty.
Oh man! Now we have a handball or something. Okay. All right.
This country would have liked.
Yeah, I actually bet over 2.5 goals for the tournament for Canada, so that would have been nice to get one early there.
That would have been so. You get one against Belgium, and then that would have been.
All right.
You're pretty much laughing there.
Yeah. Can I fire myself? Can the boss fire himself? Yeah. I mean, you could step down. I guess that's what happens sometimes. Okay, let's just keep on going, guys. Are we going to do that board, Brendo, or you just want us to go?
And yeah, if you want.
Yeah. Okay. We can.
Right.
Well, I don't know. We can start doing it. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I have Apple, I have AMC on board. Let me just go over AMC quickly before we discuss what we're going to do next. So right here on AMC, look, I like the stock there at 750. It's bounced off a couple times. We are going to get the reload down there. Unfortunately, we reloaded it there early at 12 o'clock when it came down. There was the news there about Amazon trying, and I sort of yelled this out incorrectly. There is no indication of Amazon and AMC or or at all. It's just Amazon looking to invest $1 billion+ into cinemas. So I think that was basically the news. So I'm feeling like this little move upside there for AMC out of nowhere. There's the big volume. Well, you can't really. Maybe you can, thanks, Lucas. There's the big volume spike right there on AMC. So, all right, let's go over to Brendan, and we'll talk about the JWN big miss.
Yeah, we had some retail earnings to get through this morning. If you were with us in the pre-market, we also had a positive note. I want to talk about BBY because that did give you a, not Bed Bath & Beyond, but Best Buy did give you a trade on a positive note as well from Citigroup this morning. Here's what you needed to know, though, on Nordstrom's today. The past couple of months, they've seen slowing sales trends, and they said that's going to continue into the very important holiday quarter for them. So Nordstrom's down big time, guys.
They are down big time, but the problem with looking at only the percentage to the downside is you miss what actually happened for the trade today, which was it was gapping down almost a full 10%. We talked about the notion it's about 25% short float, depending on which source you look at. And if it didn't break the low, I was looking for the long trade. It's that patented setup we like. Zoom did it yesterday. It got down, tested the pre-market lows. On the way back up, it gave 60s. If I made a bit of a mistake, I got some 21s. And then as the market was sort of giving it back, or I was favoring a lot of shorts this morning, and a lot of them didn't work out. And when I got this trail out, second I was out of it, I was like, is that the right thing to do? Next thing you know, you're right back at the highs in Nordstrom's. I bought back in a VWAP, got a little bit more patient, and then got impatient at 21.20. And then I just started holding out for that 22 level. Got another dip here off VWAP and scalped it a couple times. Eventually got out in front of 22 because I was looking 22 for the short. And obviously, I got stopped out of the short when the Fed minutes came in. I'm going to look to reestablish the short in this name off that 22 high. It still seems valid to me. So you have a wick top on that volume spike, and then it just respected those. It just respected that 22 after. And where does 22 come from? You had afternoon support down around there, but also post-market resistance came in at 22. So when it dumped, it then sold off in the aftermarket at 22 even. So I like 22s for a short, but I got to get back over to it after getting stopped out of it when the Fed minutes came through and spiked just about everything.
Oh, yeah, that is a good point. That is what I wanted to look at there because we did have written down, and I threw my sticky note and left it over there. But we had written down there $22 is where we wanted to get the short. So that is a good short. I still think it's a decent short there for JWN, but a nice little move to the upside. We did sort of risk or sort of warn there that, you know, it was a little bit of a risk to the upside for JWN today just because of, you know, some of the levels that were there. Here's the sticky note, JWN. It's a net loss. Not a great holiday forecast either. Be patient for the short at 22. So that's what we indicated right there. We even talked about that fade any pop to 22. So I think we got to try to follow our own little notes here and fade that. Like I wasn't there. I had my order canceled because you know we didn't get the fill. But there is the fill one more time. So I don't mind this fill right here. I'll look at it, but this could be a good short again in JWN right now. It's a little higher than. I mean, the fact that it's holding up here is okay, but yeah, definitely back up to 22. We're shorting JWN and against that 15. I just don't want it now in case it bounces off the 50 period right here. But again, not a great quarter, not much happening for them. You can see on the 20-minute, it's a big move down. Then they've sort of climbed up all day, and there's that bump that we wanted. We just weren't there sitting there. So we'll take JWN short at 22, but it's got to get back to that level.
Nice move in Bitcoin underway right now with equities as well back to the upside. Here's a look at what's happening on the hourly chart. We had a spike back to 16.5 on that release of the Fed minutes. We are coming off a little bit right now. That had this one, Coinbase, back to day highs here on decent volume with the rest of the overall market. But nice rebound once again, up 5% still for Coinbase.
Yeah, Coinbase was that long list of stocks. By the way, just to quickly here, I did get back in on the dip in AMD. It's been holding 76.25. So I got in front of that 25 level. I'm going to scalp it inside of the range to 50 and then see if it can't work back into VWAP like it did last time. But Coin, this was one of these. That was just another one of those names that I liked to the short side at a specific price. It dumped early, but I wasn't in it off that 44.5. I like 44.5 to 45 for an out. You can sort of see 45 even. Good line in the sand. if you had it pre-market, you got the $3 move. I didn't have it till it came back in, scalped it for 50 pennies, reloaded, and got stopped out. Did not come back to the trade off of 45 and a half here. And now it's just right back into these tops. So this is not necessarily one that I want to fight too much. I want to kind of stay away from Coinbase unless I'm playing it off of the big level. This 43 and a half could make some sense for a long trade. But I need to see it really start to, like the market would have to show me a little bit of weakness for me to go at this one again. It's been a pretty good 2-day rally, and I took my swing in the morning and did miss on it. I did get it just because this keeps going here back and forth. Man, it's like it'll drop about 15 to 20 pennies, fill the bid, and then just go kind of slowly grind higher. Like that's all it's been doing is grinding higher this entire time. So I'm just going to rinse and repeat. Just get on the bid. Last breakout was 18. Before that was 17.70. Just keep dip buying and then getting some out in front while holding a core position. It's just gliding higher. It almost doesn't care what the market does.
Yeah, I mean, just because, Neil just did Coinbase there. We looked at SoFi yesterday, and I mean, the big trade for SoFi yesterday was, we did have it. It's unfortunately, it's not going to show up here, but there it is. It does show up, actually. There. See, sometimes it shows up right there. There it is, the short for 475 all the way back in, 460, 461, 462 out. So I was looking for the kind of the same trade again, just thinking we did get a bump up. Let's go Apple, now 70 cents in the money. I was thinking that we were going to get a bump up today in SoFi, and we did. We got it pretty early, and I just wish I would have saw that. We wrote down that we wanted to start this trade maybe at that 480 level. Again, if it did come up there, so 475 is actually the level. Unfortunately, that was the only move up, and I missed it. Should have been short SoFi again until they get their government or the government gets figured out there as far as what it wants to do with respect to student loans. I feel like SoFi is always going to be a little bit of a target here. We do know that it's a big part of their business model, and I think they've extended the loan forgiveness. I think that's what sort of came through instead of the U.S. government just forgiving the loans, period. So there are some stories here. Obviously, I don't know them exactly, but I just look at what SoFi's done on the daily rate here, and it's just like 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4, 5, 6, 7 now days in a row of downside here for SoFi. And that included a break yesterday of the 52-week low, which is the all-time low. So we broke the all-time low in SoFi yesterday. That's why we wanted the short. And it looks like we're continuing that today down another 0.75%. So for me, I'm not very positive here on this stock. It continues to go to the downside. I think like many of us, we've all been burned buying some of these SPACs, and this is just another one of those that continues to disappoint. SoFi down in the dumpster, and I think 450 might be the next trade, but there's no point in looking at a chart here because every single move down is a brand new all-time low for SoFi. So I think the best thing to do would be wait for 450, which is a key level, and then you wait for more news to come out on possible loan forgiveness.
All right, let's go on to Baidu. Some of the other Chinese ADRs were in action this morning in the pre-market. Baidu with earnings. They also pointed to their autonomous taxi service that has exponential growth ahead and all kinds of demand right now. This is what is happening right now, actually, on Baidu, with a nice move up with the overall market here on decent volume, but did give you an opportunity there if you're looking at it above that pre-market high this morning, guys, off Baidu earnings.
Yeah.
Just answering Philip in the chat, though, I actually put a stop too tight on AMD there and ended up getting wicked out. So I'm going to look to try to re-enter that one because it's still holding that 70, 76 quarter area. But Baidu, I mean, oddly enough, it did give you an opportunity for a trade. I kind of wanted 100 if it was going to get there. I felt like that was going to be the place to put it on. Unfortunately, that it just never happened, so I was never in this one. And then to the downside, I was looking at 91s. But you had a shot at 99 if that's where you're looking for. And as a matter of fact, it is getting up to VWAP here, 97. So that could be interesting. 97, if it starts holding a bid, that might be not too bad. It's just that I'm so accustomed to these Chinese ADRs being bad trades in the afternoon. I talked about getting trailed out. Like NEO for the short, I got the NEO short. Baidu just never came to the level. But I got trailed out of it, and NEO has also looked like, hey, if it starts recovering and holding VWAP, maybe you got something. I've just been suckered so many times into trading these names in the afternoon, and then there ends up being not just no volume, but essentially no volatility. Like, it's one thing to have low volume, but the stock's still moving. A lot of times, you'll get these only going sideways. So I probably need to see it consolidate, then break out of consolidation to get interesting. And that goes for either Baidu 97 or maybe even NEO right here at 1060. But I'm done with this one for the time being. And as I said, I did get wicked out of AMD there, which that was way too tight. I mean, I was long off this 76 on the number, and then got to 76 quarter, and essentially had a break-even stop put in there, which is sort of sloppy. Like that bottom there, 76.10. That's a much more reasonable lot. I'm looking to get back into it. I'm being pretty picky about it because I want the prices I had before.
It's all good, baby. All right. Baidu. Yeah, okay. So Baidu right now. Sorry. I blocked it. Okay, still 0-0.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
Okay, so there it is, Baba, right now. So Alibaba, this was a name that we did have on our sticky note, and we were looking at this 78 level. Obviously, things have changed. We don't have any trades on Alibaba today, but you're coming right up. Actually, no, it was 79, I think it was, the level that we were looking at this morning, but you're right back up here to 79. I still look at this and think about a short. I mean, here's the 20-minute chart. Again, you're right up to this 79 level. I'm thinking now 80. I mean, you're up 3+% here on Alibaba into a nice little upside market right now. So I don't think that we'd like to short this into the close. I mean, this is a very aggressive move upside right now, especially just over the last 30 minutes. Fed's come out, so we'll look at that top. That's 78.70. If we get close to 79, I mean, unless this market really keeps extending, actually, now that I look at it, it's probably a decent short into that 79 level, especially because we topped out there at 79.10. All right, let me put an offer here. So just like Nordstrom's, let me check JWN quickly again as well. If this gets to 22, we want to get the short, and we do have a nice little ultimate short situation on Alibaba as well as we approach 79. So I'm going to put an offer like 78.90. That way, if it does rip up and take out that 79.10 right there, it's 20 cents worth of risk. It's how I trade. I think that's the best thing to do. Make sure you have your risk reward, your profile, your ins and your outs, and you understand the sort of loss parameter that could be happening. Because, I mean, we're long right now $1 in the money on Apple. Unbelievable that we got wicked out there. That's really stupid, but we got back in. That's my own fault on that one. You don't want to really be in position when the number comes out, but I didn't think it would move $1 up and down like it did.
Sometimes it does more than you think.
Yeah, I mean, I should have known that because this morning was pretty weak. AMD, again, good out there. We're long. We got out right at VWAP, so that one was really good. We switched up our game and actually went short, but now back into the long for AMD. That's a good one. And then just quickly here, AMC is now starting to go again to the upside. So I feel like this is a good spot here, 80-81 to get some more out. We're long at 59, so not a bad out there for AMD, but I know we're talking about Baidu on there, but I do like that Alibaba trade. I'm just going to put it on right now, up near 79. Let's take that short.
Oh, Tesla's going.
All right, Apple having a nice day here. Back to almost day highs here, 0.64 to the upside. Really wasn't any question right out of the gate this morning whether or not this was going to be strong. It was just a matter of how much. Back to the upside with the overall market. There was just that Foxconn story that was pretty ugly if you saw that video out late yesterday and overnight from China, but doesn't seem to have any kind of follow through as far as Apple is concerned anyways. There were a few positive analyst notes in this group this morning as well.
Yeah, I know we'll get to Tesla in a quick second, but Tesla's breaking the high of the day. I think a lot of people will be interested to hear that. 182 now gone on Tesla. Look, I had Apple this morning. I got out of Apple when it broke 150. I then stayed away from Apple. And if anything, it looks like that 150 level, like that's exactly where you're going to have some support if we do come back in. So I'll respect Apple. It got me this morning. And I think if it gets back to 150, it's a dip buy opportunity. But I want to go just quickly to a couple of strong names because actually breaking high a day, Microsoft, which I had the break at 47, and now it's breaking 48. I did not come back to. This is probably the name I should have come back to instead of AMD when we got the number coming out. But I do like some relative strength here in Microsoft, breaking out the top. The previous high, 247.60. I'm going to like that for a dip buy. Now trending here to the upside. We're breaking tops, and I think you want to play some names to the long side. I'm close to getting back into JWN. And if I'm averaging into a short, then it better be Intel until that thing can actually take out $30.
All right, just looking around. So we're still waiting for that Alibaba, Tesla, Apple. I mean, we talked about Apple earlier, man. It was the trade of the day for a couple reasons. And the first one is that we got out of the way on this short. So again, losing, like we often don't do a trade of the day that's a loser, but I feel like it was important for this one. I know Brendan said that it was sort of a long from the beginning, and it was. And that's why we had to assess that we were going to be wrong at that 150 level. So it was a pretty easy take to get out there. I mean, when the levels are as clean as that on Apple, like especially, at that 150 level, you know, you're not, what am I doing? I don't need to print anything in there. That was an easy out, and then, oh man, we have those wicks, so I got to get away from this so I don't show them on there. There's the easy out right there, and then again, now we've just been going long on Apple. It sucks because that's a long, these are all long. So if that number doesn't happen, I don't have that tick there, and we look pretty genius, but it doesn't matter. We're long right now. We're $1 in the money on Apple. It's just up to that high. I'm going to take that out if it happens one more time. 151.25, get me out of there. The market is getting ready for a vacation, right? So tomorrow is Thanksgiving. We're not going to be here. I don't know how much more of a rally this market has in it. So let's just try to do the best we can and get out of positions where we need to, put the money in our pocket and save it for tomorrow when we start to gamble.
On sports betting.
On sports betting, yeah. I feel like gambling in the market is a lot different.
Yeah, well, it's
like you have your ins, you have your outs, you have your expected outcomes and things like that. We're actually going to do a video, so stay tuned for that tomorrow. That'll be released tomorrow on our picks for tomorrow.
I wonder who I like in this 12 o'clock. I don't know. Who do you like?
Bills, Lions. Yeah, so there's going to be a couple of those coming through. And what I mean by that is like, there's, in gambling, in trading, there's non-zero outcomes. Like, you can get in and get out and say, okay, I lost, I'm in for another day.
Yeah.
And I know there's also live betting for sports, so that's where we're going to get, there are also non-zero outcomes. You can get out of your bet, but
you can hedge certain
yeah, and I think that's what I'm saying when I'm gambling. It's like for fun. You'll drop $20 on a game or whatever you can afford to lose. When we sit down here and trade, this is to me more of a business, and I just don't spend enough time looking at some of the picks that I make for gambling. More of it is just like, okay, I don't have anything to do today. Let's put on a trade. Let's put on a bet. But much different than trading. So that's where I was going with that analogy. But Apple, if we get back up to that side, I do want to get it out. Maybe just even 151. Let's see what Apple does.
Yeah, they're different beasts. But as the market got back to that high, so we just double topped on the ES and the NASDAQ. Both futures double topped. I got back in NVIDIA, give it a little bit more room. But Nordstrom's did not move, man.
Really?
Like, it just sat here at 2180, and you're a ways away, so I can only really take about half what I think makes sense. But if it's not going to go up when the market just charged higher, and I like to short off this level, then I do want to have a piece of the pie, as we just got that one. I didn't get Intel, which sucks. I just feel like I never get. When it pops, I'm not quite fast enough to get over to the short trade sometimes on Intel, but I got a reload, and I tried to add to AMD in front of 76 there. So if it comes to 76.5 or anywhere close to it, I want to rinse and repeat. It does feel like when you make a double top and a stock is about to get off support and it's giving you lower highs, as the overall market's giving a double top. Market at the highs. This is kind of lower highs, so I want to make sure that I'm not too aggressive with this and scalp this trade as it probably deserves to be. And then Manchester United, or Man U, another high just got put in, but at some point I think this trend could get bucked. There is that deal speculation. They could be getting bought out. That's why this has been gliding higher for the last couple of days.
Just noticing that, all right, thanks guys for that rundown. We just want to do it so we could, go over a few things again for you. Oh, we still have, I thought we just did Tesla. Oh no, we did Man U.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I guess we can still do Tesla. I thought Neil was doing Tesla there. I was going to go over AMC.
I forgot about that.
We just took another piece out there for AMC, but.
Really, Lucas?
All right, do we want to throw back to Brendan for the story, or I'll just do it? Okay, let's go to Brendan.
Just wanted to mention this quickly, guys, on Apple. This came out just a little while ago anyways. They're talking, this is macrumors.com, they're talking about solid state for these buttons, the volume and the power on and off. So no more actual physical moving buttons. And the reason behind that is simply for better waterproof, or waterproofing, apparently, for Apple. Anyways, that was, I just wanted to mention that. Tesla, the big thing today was that positive note on Citi. And yeah, we asked this morning, is it a long? The answer, clearly, 7.25%. I mean, it was due for a rally here.
Yep.
Turn the bull into, or to the bear into a bull. I mean, thanks for pointing that out. I can't believe we missed that earlier there. I think Canada's all over Belgium.
So
I don't know.
apparently, look, the same way that the shorts are getting spanked by Tesla, that's the way Canada's all over Belgium right now. Though I got spanked on Tesla twice, at least if you're going to be wrong, at least limit the damage. I like 2 levels. I like 77. I like 80. I shorted 1 time at 77. Looked like it was good. I got a little scalp out. If we cut on my chart here for a quick second, guys. They're like, yeah, go over Tesla, and then no one wants to show the chart. No, it goes to 77. I get a little scalp. It's like, yeah, it's going to run down to VWAP for that first retracement. No, stopped out. I then wait for 80 as well. I let it wick high through 80. Don't even get it on the way up. I allow it to do the wick top, break 180. On the way back, short the top of the consolidation. So I'm actually more conservative when I short this the second time, and it broke out again. Obviously, the long would have been good, but I like to short at those levels. I took them because I liked them. But we're going to manage to limit the loss here. And I think that's the best you can do. If your thesis is off-bound direction-wise and liking the levels, the best you can do is try to limit that damage when you get it. I got into Nordstrom's. That's starting to go. But it's the other thing that I'm long here, starting to threaten that downside. So here comes AMD. And I'll call it the FOMC minute bottom, which was 76 even. Now, the bottom of the day is actually 76.40. But the FOMC minute bottom was about 76 even. So if it can't bounce here, I got to find a way to add to my intel to the downside. Because that's plunging, but I was unable to get more shares when it got into VWAP.
Just looking, one name, because we're talking about Tesla quickly. I mean, Neil just talked about it. I mean, we talked about it yesterday a little bit there with True Trading Group, and I just feel like Tesla is going to need to go a little bit lower in order to buy it. But again, we've already seen the way that name can move when it gets going. So I really do like it. Today, Lucid was real close to breaking through $10. So we paid for the shorts on that, hoping that it would do that. Not hoping because anybody's worried about it, but that's the 52-week low again. So we were trying to do basically the same trade here on Lucid that we had yesterday on SoFi. I mean, look how sick this name's been. Just like Tesla to the downside, boom, 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 boom. It was just at 14. This is the 50 period, so it's kind of riding it all the way to the downside. If we did take out that $10, I did like the short. I still like the short. We just got to let it grow a little bit here and breathe. Like, you just ticked up to 10.25. So many missed opportunities. There's so many like levels that always are coming into play here that, like, wow, when you see that double top right there at 10.25, that for sure, I'll zoom in a little bit, like move this out of the way. That's for sure a short right there on Lucid, right? So we'll see if that can come back into play again, but Lucid right now making new moves to the downside. I just got to find some more names that are actually moving. Remember, we're only an hour and a half away from pretty much like a 4-day weekend. I mean, Friday's going to be a half day. There's not going to be that much going. Well, there will be something going on in the morning, but by this time Friday, well, the market will be closed. So it's a half day Friday. It's a full day off tomorrow. So no trading, no Trader TV Live tomorrow either. So watch out for that. I guess unless you're in Europe, those markets, and then a Canadian market. Neil, what are you doing? You should be in tomorrow, man. The Canadian markets are open. I mean, come on.
Like just all those stocks that I trade in Toronto.
Yeah, all those Toronto stocks. If you want to trade bank stocks or anything like that, you can come in tomorrow for that. But yeah, we're going to have it off. I want to thank everybody for watching. Hit the like button if you like turkey.
What's your favorite way to? We can talk about this in a little bit because
I like the dark meats.
I was okay.
That's what you're gonna ask.
I knew that's what you're gonna say before.
I've really only had turkey. I've never. You know what? I've never had. I have to think about this. I don't think I've had a deep fried turkey before.
So I've had it.
Right.
And I will tell you this much. I mean, first of all, you deep fry anything and it's gonna be good. Let's be real for a second.
I'm down for it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, if you've never had it, be open to the notion. Because some people are like, you don't deep fry a turkey for Thanksgiving. As far as I'm concerned, man, as long as you're with family and the food is good, I don't care what you eat, man. You don't have to eat turkey. You don't like turkey, don't eat it. It's probably overrated. Turkey's overrated in a general sense.
Well, that's why it's not really that popular other than holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how many people are like going out and just like saying, oh, it's a random Sunday, instead of having like a pot roast, let's just throw a turkey in the oven, right? You know what I like turkey for, though? You can make it, so the leftovers and stuff like that, you can make a soup. You can have like hot turkey sandwiches and stuff like that. That's day after. Yeah. You throw some gravy up on there.
No mayonnaise, though. You know how I feel about
Actually, the wife and I were discussing this. I think Thanksgiving is more about the sides.
Yeah.
Because stuffing, you got to like the stuffing, man. You got to have the real cranberries there.
Cranberry,
my kids love mashed potatoes, but awesome way to prepare potatoes. Lots of
Pumpkin
different
pie,
ways.
baby.
Exactly. The corn, like you get like little sides. Like for me, that's what it's about.
It's
Another
also an
penalty. What?
excuse for mac and cheese, though. Oh, I just got stopped for real on AMD there as that's heading to that. So that broke 76 more convincingly. So I'm more happy with that out because the first one was a bad trigger and I could have still scalped it. Nordstrom's looks like it's heading back into the downside as it looks like there's some kind of a call going against.
Oh, no. There's no more penalty.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, there's no penalty. But Nordstrom's, I got into it, but I haven't got the bid yet. I want like 2165 here. Actually, should make sure I'm not actually sitting at 65 because that's just stupid.
Market be
So let me
falling
get in front.
right
The
now,
market's
by the
coming
way.
down, but Nordstrom's hasn't really given me a first leg. So I'll just take some out there. I want to rinse and repeat this if I can, but I was just in AMD. And,
I don't know
you
if I
know, like
trust
it gives you a
AMD
couple of
anymore.
scalp trades, but the thing I'm noticing is when the market got to the high, like you were making lower highs in AMD, and that's why I kept saying I should be getting more shares of Intel short, I should be getting more shares of Intel short, and I didn't get more shares of Intel short, and now it's at the low of the day. Now, at said low of the day, I got to get something out of here, so we get down toward that 29.50, I'm going to get out. But anything resembling 29.75, lower highs, VWAP, I should be shorting those. Even Man U is starting to come back, so that's one of the stronger names in the market, and it's starting to pull back here. I keep putting in NASDAQ, and it's a New York stock. I don't know why. Yeah, but it's off the highs now. If this can't hold 18 bucks, I might just get out of Dodge here. The original long was really about the 17.70, and 18 was more of an even dollar break. The fact that it's been giving you these channels is great, but at some point, if the market gives up the top, this could easily reverse.
All right, yeah, I just want to bring AMD to everyone's attention because that is another name that we are going to look at right now into this. I mean, the market fell down pretty good. We got out there at VWAP, and we were there on purpose. That was during that the Fed minutes, right? So that got released. I didn't see that. People said that Canada just got robbed on a possible penalty, but I don't know. All right, 76.80 there. So I do want to. So my first take, I just put it actually, we're talking about at 75.80. Our out was 76.80 right there. So let's put another, we'll zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Here's all the longs. So we were long AMD early today, 76.40. Our best out, 77.80 for $1.50. That's a banger trade. And then we went long again here and lost. And then that's when I was like, forget about going long on AMD. It broke. This is where we went long in front of 77. We were able to get out of the way a little bit, but not enough, and wound up taking a small L. But then right there is a purple tick. I was like, we're going short now on AMD because it already made these highs. We were up a decent amount. The market pulled back, so we flipped over short 77. Look at some of these outs, man. 76.30. That's 70-80 cents. Then it came back in. These are all getting out. Then we started to go long again down here. So long back near 76, and that's paid off. So looks like we just missed a long down there. We were at 75.80. It just ticked up again to 76.11. So a missed opportunity of another long there. But I feel like things need to set up not perfectly, but close to perfectly in order to get in, because I feel like there's wicks and there's just levels getting run. Like Tesla's back down, not back down, but 182 right now. All right, Brenda, what you got?
One that can pop up when there's not much else going on, and here it is. Veru, guys, starting to get going here. Popped up on a volume scanner. They're trying to get through 560 after the move off of the Fed minutes. Low float name, not seeing tremendous amount of headlines on this since the beginning of November, but Veru trying to take out day highs.
Ooh, Veru.
Oh yeah, Veru. Well, I mean, whenever we talk about that, we do have Fajardo sitting over there. So, but he has a what do they call it, quiet period? You know, when you're not allowed to talk about some positions that you've recently put on.
We can talk about the fact that it needs to break 570. 565, 570. So ever since it got the flush at $6, and there's been a couple of flushes in Veru, and we know the gap down. Sort of going post, like after it put the gap down, you haven't really broken the range in either direction. So I think when that happens to me, when it bounces off the bottom, I'm usually looking for a long in that situation. Like it bounces off 5 after the gap, and then it just glides back to the downside, holds the low yesterday, and is now trying to break the channel to the upside. So that sets up for this breaking 565. You can probably guess, like lower volume environments are not always the best for breakout trades, but I really don't mind this on Veru. The more I look at it, this 565. It could definitely be setting up here. So I'll have this on my radar. Man U, I just think, is a little bit better of a stock because it's a nice, strong, trending trade. And there's obviously some buyers in there for fundamental reasons. So I kind of like that one. So Intel, I don't know if we're going to see, if this market pulls back any further.
Oh, shit.
What happened? What happened?
1-0.
But how can you, Lucas, man? Your thing is the.
And it's unless it's offside, it's a pretty sick goal. Yeah, they're not even showing it.
Oh my goodness.
Damn it! Sorry to interrupt you there.
Nah, it's
Once in 36 years. I mean, I'm only 30 years old, so I mean, I haven't even seen. Damn it! You know, Italy on FIFA ranking is world 6, and they're not even in this stupid thing. Oh, it's a huge. Oh, what a pass from the back! Honestly.
How are you?
Oh,
How far delayed is this, Lucas?
very far. So look.
Oh, that was.
Ooh.
That was a
He
pretty
just
nice.
blasts it. It almost hits our goalie in the head, though.
That was a really nice goal.
Yeah. Well, you didn't even see the pass yet. The guy just boomed.
I think I'm about to see it now.
And Belgium is missing. No, you're not. No, you're not even close. Lucas is way.
Lucas, I don't know what you're
way
doing, Lucas.
behind. It happened. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys will see the goal soon. All right. So yeah, Lucas, you might want to get rid of that. All right, back over to my screen, and we'll talk a little bit about trading here. As of course, just in case you guys were wondering why we're so excited about it, we are in our first World Cup appearance in 36 years here, and we're facing world number 2, Belgium. Right now.
Yeah, they just showed
so,
that was pretty nice.
yeah, it's a long. The pass is
that
sick.
was an unbelievable
Who
ball.
was it? The goalie?
That was a crazy ball.
The ball was crazy
That was a crazy
into the
ball.
space there. So what a great pass. Belgium, world-class team, of course. Like I said, world number 2. Good luck to all your teams out there, whoever you're cheering for. That's what it's all about. And I said I was most disappointed because literally on the way home yesterday, I was listening to sports broadcasters, and they said the same thing. So it's not like it's a hot take from me. They said, like, when it's Euro Cup, basically in my neighborhood, you can't, every single house has either a Portuguese flag on it or an Italian flag. And I'm sure it's like, exactly, it's like that everywhere in Canada.
My neighbor's losing his mind.
In Toronto, like it's nuts. And then now we're finally in the World Cup. And honestly, I haven't seen one. And I'm not even like, Toronto has 4 million or 3.3 million people or something. I haven't seen one Canadian flag. So
here's what's crazy about it.
I don't have one either. So I'm like,
I don't have one either.
I'm not pointing fingers.
I live in Brampton, where literally 1/4 of our team is from one city.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any Canadian flags in Brampton. 1/4 of the team comes from one city that has less than 1 million people, and there's not a lot of, I mean, look, there's people that are supporting the team. It's just the fever for which is not.
Look, I mean, the fever's huge. I mean, I just lost my mind there on that goal. And I don't even really watch soccer. So, okay.
It's a nice ball.
Yeah, it's a great goal. I mean, Canada will be back, man. We missed a penalty. We'll be fine. We just need a draw. If we can get 1 point, we're jamming, right? But
I am 1/8 Portuguese, by the way. But I'm not.
Sorry about that.
But I don't support Portugal. Like outside of Canada, I'm an England. Everyone knows I'm an England fan. I have some family in England. Leicester is where they are from, but Liverpool is who I support because that's where my cousin played for. So always, Emil. He's old like me, so he doesn't really play anymore. But yeah, I like England, but it's all about Canada this time through. Just to get back to the market quickly, we did just have a check back. I'm gonna go to the black chart here because it's just easier for me to do this sometimes. So we have that double top that just got put on in the ES 4040. You pull all the way back into 20s. Now you're kind of sitting in the middle of the range. So to me, it's like get some out of that Nordstrom's, reload it on the short side, reload Intel if I can, as long as we don't break those highs. Then just look for some opportunities long.
What kind of finish was that?
What happened? You're killing me because yours is so far ahead.
Buchanan just like puts it right over the net. It was a sick ball.
What are we doing?
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm just going to ruin it for everybody over there, like when you guys are watching it on the big screen. But
the problem is you guys don't. So there's a big screen. We do trade of the day. I'm staring at that where the game is, and Sean's got a better view that I have to look over like this. But I can follow the trades.
Because I'm logged into the
you
paid
guys.
version. That's the thing.
Oh, that what Lucas is doing?
No, he's not. He's got like a stream
Of course,
from.
he's got a.
But whatever. I can't share this because it's like my login from my cable, which believe it or not, I still have cable. I don't know. I could. I guess I could. I don't know.
By the way, Microsoft, which there's your dip to 247 on Microsoft. I'm waiting for it. I didn't actually get it. So we're just gonna be stuck with Man U for the long side. This is definitely relatively strong. This is gonna be the name I like. Maybe more so than AMD. I got to get away from the AMD notion. This is breaking highs, and I think we can hold a high end of the channel. You've got higher lows since 2 o'clock, right? Fed bottom 246. Then you put a 246.75 bottom, now a 247 bottom. So you're putting higher lows on the way to a potential breakout for Microsoft. That sets it up a little bit better than what I saw on AMD, which was kind of the opposite, where it was kind of grinding lower and showing you a bit of a wedge pattern to the bottom. So I want to catch dips on this. I'll stick to Intel short. I don't think you want to get out of pocket with the names that you're looking at here and necessarily over trading this environment. Speaking of Intel, finally it's getting to the upside. If it doesn't get to 29.75 to get short and starts like consolidating or curling here, I just want to short whatever turn. If the market doesn't break the high, wherever it fails the high, I want the turn on Intel. Keep it as simple as that.
All right, I was going to talk about Ford right now because we are at the bottom near 14 bucks. I thought that was going to be a good long, but nothing's really happening to Ford. But I just found Meta. Meta also at day's high right now. We're only 1 minute away from halftime, and we just kind of screwed up a corner. Okay, so Meta right now is breaking. So 112.50. I want to have this trade on if it does break to the upside. Meta 112.50 break. No, not 1,012. $100. And 12 cents. I'm just getting the order in right now. 50. I mean, Meta's been pretty strong today, up 0.88. It's a little less than the market, but just look at that move over the last little second there. Nice little strong side move there for Meta. So let's go. Let's see if we can get it going up here through 112.50. And then, you know, if we have to hold it back to 112, we can. I mean, I want more than 50 cents on this trade anyways. This is what we've been doing today on Meta. Am I up or down on this stock? Down. So, oh yeah, we got ticked out there. We talked about, like, oh yeah, this was that number at 10 o'clock. So the same thing happened to me on Meta. Look, long, 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 long. The number comes out at 10.
Yeah, the Michigan sentiment.
Dead right there. We get back in and then it rips. So the same thing happened to me twice today on numbers. So right now Meta is actually, my bad, it's not breaking the high of the day. It's just breaking through 112.50 right here. I didn't zoom out far enough. 112.70 is the high of the day there, but I still like this break. You're forming out triple tops right there. The market is upside. If the market breaks the high, then definitely Meta goes as well. So I do like this, but correction, it is not the high of the day. What's up, Brandon?
I'm going to mention this, mentioned it when we came on, but didn't get back to it. There was a number of notes on Best Buy this morning. I just saw it pop up on a day high scanner. There they all are. There was 8 of them. And here it is, 2.5% now, guys. Just taking out the highs there, just popped up in front of me for Best Buy.
Yeah, Best Buy definitely going. I took a couple of swings at it. The early ones were definitely better than the reloads, unfortunately for myself, because I could have hung on to that for dear life. But another name at the high of the day right here, right now, is going to be Tesla. 182.44 is your top. You have, I mean, you said Meta's close to the top. Microsoft is at the high of the day by about like 15 cents away, I should say. So both these names at the highs, Tesla and Microsoft, they look incredibly strong. I am favoring a dip on Microsoft because I don't really like it. I mean, Tesla 181 is not that bad, but breaking through the high here, 182.50, what I'm kind of hoping happens is you get a bit of a break, it wicks back down, and then consolidates before going again. It just feels like there's going to be a lot of traps at some of these levels, so I almost want the trap to set up, shake a few people out, and then it can maybe give you a dip buy opportunity as opposed to just taking out those highs. Man U's right back to the top, so this name continues to go. I don't really have a... At this point, there's no targets to be had on Man U, and I should have gone over this, by the way. Like, this is, again, deal speculation. There's really not a heck of a lot to look at unless the stock gets to 19 bucks on the daily chart, and it's just been gliding higher. So I don't really have any targets except for every single quarter. Like, it gets to 18.25 again and then breaks out. 18.50 makes sense. But I'm continuing to try to buy these dips now that it seems to want to hold on to the highs. The market is now going. There's Tesla. It tried to wick down. Very unsuccessfully doing so. When it pulled back into 182.50, yeah, it bounced right off that like it was absolutely nothing. Microsoft hasn't broken yet. That'll be 248.25 exactly is the top break on Softy.
Okay, so a couple new positions right now. We are now into Alibaba and we are into Meta. So the problem with what I'm doing right now is long Meta and short Alibaba, which is kind of the opposite of what's been happening today. So let's just try to be as patient as we can with these trades. But right now, Meta, I'm looking honestly just because of the way it's trading. I don't want to take this too far back in here. So if we break like below this 112, yeah, I mean, we don't have too many shares. We can wait for 112 to break. So if 112 breaks, we'll take that. We're not into too many shares, like I said. We only have an hour left in the show before it balances anyways at 350, and then we'll take you guys into the close. But for right now, there's Meta. We're long. It's starting to go to the upside. And then the other trade that we wanted on because was Alibaba. Alibaba's right here at 79 flat. So for me, that's the trade. We have half of our position on for Alibaba. We're waiting in the 90s for more. I want to get as close to 79 as possible. I just don't think the volume's here to send this thing like up and down 50 cents. So if we can be patient with what we're doing right now, we can get a better price. And then even if we have to wind up taking 20 cents on it, something like that as a win, that's great, because my target out is that out right there, 79.10 or so, which is the high back on the 21st, only a couple days ago. That's where we wicked to. But I'm not even expecting this thing to break 79, so let's see if that does come into play. So right now that's in the money.
Can you get the super chat? Because I don't know what this means.
I saw the super chat,
I don't know
but
what that means.
Yo, Playmaker, man. I mean, look, the thing about Playmaker is like,
Is that so inside thing from when you
I'm
went?
wondering if it is. Like, message me on Twitter if it's something inappropriate. But I don't know. So what me and Playmaker did, of course, shout out to Playmaker as well. Great individual. And we were chilling out there. I don't want to say your profession unless you want me to. I don't know. But he came there, saw me in Miami when I was in the hotel there, and I left poolside with the family, spent about 20, 30 minutes with this guy, and we had a great time. So Playmaker, shout out to you. Do you think Sean, Miami women miss black beans? I have no idea. Is that coffee? I don't know what that means. And then a shout out to Diamond Realty as well. Playmaker in the 305. We'll take those super chats all day long. We're in Toronto, the 416. So if anyone's there in Toronto, want to tip that out as well. $4.16. But a shout out to both of you guys in the M to the I to the A, Miami. Great, obviously, city. I don't need to tell many of you that.
He said you can't say it because he's out in 2 weeks. Remember? So Playmaker.
Yeah. He's part of I don't know which county, Dade County or whatever, but is a police officer there.
Yeah.
So, the funny thing was, I was in Fontainebleau, and it's like a very, very posh hotel. Shout out to Nelson. Thanks for the hookup there as well. And I remember it's like there's just like all of a sudden Playmaker comes in, and it's very like they had like that weekend Gucci Mane was there, David Guetta was there. It was like a big music week. There was all these like very, very famous DJs and whatnot there. Key Glock for you as well there, Fahad. But anyways, they were all there, and so. There's a police officer, and then I come walking out, and I'm just wearing my Packers shirt and everything, like I got on sandals and all this kind of stuff. And then I go over to the police officer, and then basically one of the security guys of the hotel is kind of, and Playmaker, you know about this, he was kind of like eyeing us, and everyone was like, everything's all right, because they didn't know like if you know the police was there for a guest or something like that. And then we sat down, and this is how professional. I mean, I offered Playmaker a drink, and obviously he was on the clock. So we didn't have that today, but shout out to you, Playmaker. Yeah, Key Glock. He had his new song, Jigsaw. I was listening to that yesterday, and that's when Fahad's like, wow, you like that kind of music? I was like, yeah, why not? All right, what's up, Brendan?
Just saw a note here, guys, on Alphabet. Just took out day highs as well with the overall market. New York Times on a tweet suggesting NFL Sunday ticket negotiations are likely to spill over into next year and include, in hot pursuit, Alphabet, apparently.
Whoa, we just took a piece out on that's cool, man. I don't ever want to pay for Sunday ticket because I already get Red Zone, and like that's pretty much all that I watch unless there's a specific game. Like if the Packers are on, definitely I won't watch Red Zone.
I watch the Zone like that's my go-to. Like,
so you just flip between games instead of Red Zone.
Yeah, like I basically DAZN, like I know the games I want to watch.
Yeah.
I'll just basically go back and forth because if I'm following fantasy, like I know in your app, you know if your guy's in the red zone. So you can go back and forth for each game, and I'll usually just watch my players. If not, I watch the Bills, and then I watch my players. But yeah, good look. I mean, Alphabet's it's not the only thing Microsoft, Tesla, but Alphabet making a breakout. Actually breaking the high when the futures just rejected it, because Microsoft rejected the top as well. When the futures turned that little bit, I took some more Intel shares. You'll see my price did change. I'm kind of thinking about NVIDIA here, man. NVIDIA. Nordstrom's here, NVIDIA. I talk about Intel, and I still can't get my head away from NVIDIA. But Nordstrom's getting very close to VWAP. This is still an upward trend all day long. And if you really follow along, I do think this is probably going to get to VWAP and stall out. So I'm on the bid to get out of this. I still want to short at a better price or even more closer to that 22 if we even get it again. But I have to start respecting the fact that the market is setting up like it wants to hold a range top. And if it breaks the high, you're going to be looking for longs, and you're going to be looking to get out of something like an Nordstrom if we break out that top. But I'm going to add Alphabet to my list because Microsoft just failed the top, and this one actually has a chance to continue going. And better yet, when I pop to 15 through here, which is this kind of 98.5 high, Nice little room into the next level at 99. So even sets up for a pretty decent top break. 100, probably a pretty obvious line in the sand if it got there to consider a short at least.
So we're short 82 there on Alibaba. We just took a piece out there at 65. That's right where it is right now. So if you did want that, I mean, I mentioned taking 20, 30 cents if we were able to. And so I just wish we would have had the full default on there. We got the high of the day in Alibaba. Someone said Sean must not be feeling well because he's not shorting today, but I'm short right now, Alibaba, so I'm feeling fine. The only problem right now is, well, Meta's not a problem. We actually, oh no, we didn't get any outs on Meta. I thought we did there. We didn't. We're gonna wait for that. Again, if this breaks down through 12, you sort of already know we've talked about that position that I like there on a breakdown through 112. That's where we'll get out. So we will. We're not. Same way in Alibaba, I don't have the full position on in Meta. I just, in case it broke and kept going, well, it did break, but in case it kept going and extended out to the high of the day, that's where my first out is. I thought we went up there for some reason. So my first out is actually at 69er right there. So we'll wait to see if that comes out there. The high of the day is 69 or 67. So maybe I should wait at 65, but we'll wait for that to come through. And then we will average in. I mean, where did I put the out? Oh yeah, 112. So let's, the reason why I did 112 is because we want to see about this 50 period. If Meta sort of floats back into here, we will take some more longs at 112. You can sort of see there, it's really light this 50 period. So we'll see if it can ride it all the way up here. And then that's a trend changing indicator for me. That's why it's on there. The 200 is more there for like support in case, you know, you're stuck and you're looking for a level. I do use that 200. It is a little bit crazy on a 1 minute. You can see it worked out pretty good here in the open, but you don't want to data mine and just look for like things that look like they're working out and then all of a sudden assume that, you know, that's the reason why. So let's try to respect this level. We're getting into it right now. 112.20 as an average in.
It's also where the players dwell.
Well, yes, but
that's room 112 where the players dwell. If you hadn't guessed, well, you probably haven't guessed, but I just, oh, the position more's that up. I just got Affirm. So remember I was talking about the Affirm top, and the market got to the highs, and I'm looking for things to go short. I just got out of Nordstrom's, so I'll get to that in a second. But I said this morning, hey, that high on, like how many times does Affirm have to give the exact same short? At the open, 1320 on Monday. Yesterday, I wasn't here yesterday, but 1320 is the high, and it goes right to the bottom. Where does it go again? Right up to 1320 and back into the bottom. One of these times I got to have it, right? So this is that time. I'm now into the short, so it's probably not a surprise that I would want that position. But I did just say on JWN that I thought it would make some sense to get out of VWAP, just in case it bounces back to the upside and I can short that again. I'm not going to go long off VWAP, I don't think. Not with the market rejecting the high of the day, but we're going to ring the register on that one. It was a good long in from the bottom to 22, then a good short from 22 back into VWAP, and hopefully a little bit more than that. And then Man U, we just got to reload on Man U off that 18 level. That's not a real wick. Give me a break. I hate when it does this because it never printed 1790. It actually barely even broke 18. But right back into this channel. So I'm going to keep scalping this channel to about 1820, and then if it continues higher, try to get it to 1825. But there is a big offer for 50,000 shares now sitting in front of some of these tops that's driving this down just a little bit over there on Man U. Intel. Like I said, I just got some shares on the way back in. The futures got to the high of the day, and I said, wherever this happens to be when that happens, and it rejects, I'll just try to get more short. I did, but you'll see that was five to 8 cents away from that curl. So I waited for the futures to go, ended up getting more at 62. It already tests down to that low of the day. If Intel breaks 29.50, I want to still have some on board. So just got into Affirm. I'm going to give it a little bit past that high. You can probably guess just around that 1325 mark.
All right, yeah, so Meta came in, we got some more shares, so our average price is now 20. We just got some out at 27. I don't know. Like I said, we're trying to just do our best to sort of scalp and make sure that we're right on all of these trades. I don't think we're going to be right on all of them, so that's where I sort of am. Right now, we are now 15 cents in the money on this Meta trade. And then look at this Alibaba trade as well. This sort of fell down a little bit here, so we'll just punch out right, well, we ran into a half print there, but we punched out of some 60. That's so funny. Like, I punch out, and then look what happens. All of a sudden, bing, 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 like all this green just happens. Like, I just punched out 61 there. It wasn't trading anything. there. Then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. Someone marketed that up, and then it comes right back down. So it's like as soon as real orders are in on this market, it's like they just kind of front run it, and then that's that. So I don't know, whatever. We'll take another 20 cents there on Alibaba and watch that trade go, hopefully to the upside, or sorry, back down in as we wait for Meta to go back to the upside. Just a quick little review here on AMC. I think that this is a name that I still like this name. It's bouncing right now off VWAP again. I'm just going to hold this until it breaks 50. Maybe we do get a little last second move up to the upside here heading into the weekend. I mean, Thanksgiving weekend. Maybe there's some sort of I don't want to say like it's a big movie going weekend, but maybe there can get some rallies going because of that. So we'll see if there is anything there. And if you're wondering what I'm doing with Apple, I'm literally waiting for this high to come through. Apple keeps on bouncing here. We have those bad wicks. So I have to zoom in a little bit. Apple keeps bouncing off VWAP, and I'm just not interested in it. I'm already long Meta. There's not much happening right now. Long Meta, short Alibaba, long AMD, long Apple. So I don't know. People are always asking me, like, how do you have so many positions? I don't have too many shares in all of these positions right now. The biggest position for me is Meta, so that's really the one that I'm looking at right here. But I have my stop orders in and everything. And then AMD, again, it's just because nothing's happening. I prefer the longs off these bottoms. So I feel like I have good bottoms on these trades. Like Meta, we're in on it. AMD, we're long. AMD, we don't have a bottom, but we're long at 75.90 right there. So that's about as good as it can be. So when you got good positions and you think you have it in at a good spot, I feel like we should probably hold this a little bit more. I mean, look what's happening to Alibaba. We waited literally all day for this trade, literally all day, as my kids would say, literally, Dad. And there it is right there. So 78.90, we waited for that. We had it on our sticky note, wait for 79. There's 79, came in. It just went back down to the 50 period. So that's where we're starting to get out. We're already out of 40% of that one as it goes. Yes, sir. Look what's happening right now to Meta. Nice little move upside for Meta. I'm going to take another piece out right now on Alibaba. There it is. We got a 58. And there goes Meta, man. Good trade for me there. Up to 38. Just took a piece out for Meta. 18 cents on that. And then there's Alibaba, another out. So, hey, man, we're putting together some good wins here. I hope you like it. Chicken dinner, turkey winner. Enjoy your turkey tomorrow. Won't be with us, but watch some videos that we have online if you miss our nice faces.
Yeah, and look, you don't have to eat turkey. Just as long as you celebrate and are with family, if possible. That's what it's all about here. We're gonna go with. I'm gonna do this because hey man, it's football tomorrow.
Yep.
So I'm excited because my Bills play and I get to watch it. It's always good to have that day off. But
you know what's interesting?
I just took more Man U out, but
Yeah.
Before we move on. Someone just said, why aren't you looking at Alibaba? I mean, Sean's looking at Alibaba. We got you covered.
I'm already short.
I know,
Come on.
he's already short the 79 level.
We're 30 cents in the money.
Between the two, when I was looking at Alibaba and I was looking at Affirm, I kind of liked Affirm. So I jumped over to Affirm. I was watching this one at this price level in the morning. So when it got to that high, you can pick a lot of things that are at resistance, but yeah, I'm just going to pick the one that I preferred a little bit there. So I jumped over to Affirm there. And anybody asking, like I'm in this AGFS, but it's a buyout. It's not going to move. So it's not worth talking about because it would literally waste your time to look at it. If you look at a chart, it's just barcoding 1 cent range, and I'm just trying to get out and not lose the spread because it's not even moving today.
All right, so no, I was just going to say that it's interesting because the Bills, of course, got snowed out last week, and they played in Detroit, and now they're in Detroit this week. So I feel like that's going to be a great track for them, and they're going to do really well.
It works well for them, actually.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're one of the fastest offenses out there, so I feel like when you put them on turf, it's kind of like, okay, let the fun begin.
Defense is not going to be able to.
No, that's going to be a problem. But you know what? Let's hit the alarm. You guys said hit the alarm for these trades, Sean. Okay, I'll do it. There you go. There's Meta, man. I mean, we almost can't do it any better. We have double the fill, double the fun down there at 12.20, and there it goes, breaking back up to the upside. There's one out at 46. There's another out right now. So that was bad, but we talked about not having our full position there. So that did come in, and we could, basically getting out for flat right now and then enjoying the double fill down there. And that's part of the trade, right? And it's like, you got to understand what sort of minute we're at in the day, what can cause volume to come in, and you want to look at names that are actually moving a little bit. Meta always is moving. And then here's your Alibaba trade for you, my friend, whoever that was in the chat. It's on the sticky note today. There it is right there. We waited for 79. I mean, here. And it's funny because Lucas, at the end of the day, we were talking a little bit about, other people charging for things and whatnot. And then Lucas is like, but don't you put your your sticky note on every single day with trade ideas for free. And I was like, yes, I do. So we don't have it on today, but yesterday we had that Alibaba 98 level written out there, and here it is today for the sticky note. Disney was actually, I think, wrong. We'll have to check out Disney 98. We'll look at that in a minute, but there's Nordstrom 22. We could check back on that. That's working. SoFi never got to 480. Look for longs if the market goes here. AMD, well, that was my best trade today. And then we had to look for short on Apple. That was completely wrong. And we did that as our trade of the day to talk about that and how you can get away from those kind of ideas. But definitely check Neil, myself out, and all of us out every single day on Twitter and on Instagram and all that love. So again, guys, thanks for watching. We're having a great show.
Yeah, Alphabet just took the high of the day. NEO's starting to break out as well, up 6%, but that doesn't tell the entire story because it was actually up more than that. But now starting to get going here off that bid. I'm going to get over to Google in just a quick second because this is actually taking out the high, but I wanted to show NEO and its relative strength. I was kind of looking for the dip buy here, but if we're just going to break this channel, I said there's room to 99 even. This seems to be leading and front-running the futures, so we're breaking highs when the futures essentially are not breaking the top. That's both the NASDAQ or the ES. It doesn't matter which one. So if I'm long this, I'm going to end up in a long trade without the futures breaking the high of the day. So a rejection of that high means you have to have yourself an out. And I look back and say, it's about 98.30 that I want to risk it to. So I want something as close as possible into 98.50 so that I'm risking about a quarter. And then I think this can get you 99. So if the first out comes at like 75s and the second out can come at 99 even, then it makes some sense risk to reward. So I like it to about 98.50 or a better price. Don't want to be chasing it up at that 60 level. But this is definitely the name I like if the futures are going to make a run at that high of the day. More so than Man U, which might be exhausting itself. It's only up 1.5%. Man U is definitely exhausting itself. And as a matter of fact, I don't even think I want to be reloading this another time. It's still, the seller that was sitting here for 50,000 shares just refreshed it again. So I'm not going to go to the well and dip into it. I'm just going to get out if it breaks 1890. I just got 51s on Alphabet, so the market comes back in. I'll take my shot at something that's actually moving. If this breaks the barcode at 18, you could see this back at VWAP.
I don't know, man. We only have 40% left of our Alibaba trade, but let's go, man. You want to hit the alarm? Well, let's keep hitting it. Another big trade here for me on Alibaba as that's starting to go back down. We're 50 cents now in the money on this trade, so this is definitely working out for us here. We were very, very patient waiting for that 79 level. It came in, and there it goes to the downside despite Baidu and all that kind of stuff. It just goes to show you got to sort of respect some levels when they come in. We just took another piece out. I don't know if that's this one might not be right. We're long at 20. We just took a piece out there at 30. Thought it was going to, come back in there and break. I'm now fine with Meta. I don't really have anything to do left with it. If it takes out we're going to wait to here 111.89 there for the bottom pick. If it does come back in, I think we could probably, because we've gotten some out, we can take more long. So I'll do that. If it comes back, I want to get a little closer to 112 though. So let's do that, like 112.05, something like that for Meta. We'll put an order in there. Alibaba just retraced back up a little bit there after making that 40 bottom. So look, this is the stuff that I look at right now. And again, trade your own stuff, but it's just like that came in right to that level again, 47, and basically wicked that bottom at 40, which coincides with that level at 2 o'clock. So, I mean, Alibaba might have just made the move down. We didn't take advantage of it. I wish we did. We're going to put another bid here at 50 or so in case it does fall back in again. So let's take another out there. Hey, I'm all good with this market going back to the upside because I'm net long everything. I told you my biggest position's Meta, and I don't, like I said, you can ask us, like, we don't like to discuss share size because it's kind of irrelevant. But yeah, if you want to know, like, what we're favoring one way or the other, it's pretty easy. I think we do a pretty good job of discussing our trade ideas, our ins and our outs. So right there, Baba, I am now going to put another out right there. I told you I'm out already of 60% of this trade. So whatever shares you have there, I'm already out of 60%. So you could sort of do that math. And I'm going to put another one right here at 78.50 just in case we drop down like that for Alibaba.
And I see a lot of people talking about Disney. Look, Tesla's breaking the high of the day. I just got into Alphabet, but
Disney.
Tesla, it's getting, you've got to get into some Tesla. I shorted a couple of times today and was out very, very quickly. Wow. But I wanted to get to Disney because if it gets to 100, that's the 50-period moving average on the daily, and that's a monster level. But this trend is, wow. I mean, look at what this stock has been doing in the last little bit. So great call and great look here on Disney, which has just been that's just gliding to the upside. I was saying that about Man U, but that's basically the same thing that you're seeing here on Disney. I talked about a firm there. It looks like it wants to take a shot at that high, so it's about to get through 18.25. Every time I hit enter too fast, it goes to New Zealand, and we don't actually have New Zealand, but I get 18.25 is where my stop is going to be. So I got the price I want. I'm in here at 15.5. It's looking to round up to 16 even, so risking about 10 pennies. You can see I already have bids down at 1-to-1, and then 2-to-1 if you get that 13 even. So if we can hold, then this is a short I like. I haven't really added to Intel at any point, but I am in the Alphabet, and I'm looking for some Tesla, but Disney's on my radar as well. Good shout out, because not everything is really holding the trend to the upside. Everything else is like consolidating tops, and Disney was just still going higher and higher. So a little bit stronger than Tesla and Alphabet, even though it's Alphabet I'm in.
Holla at your boy right there. We'll go a little bang trade off right now on Apple. It just came right back in. We just sat there. That was the offer that we had. We went in to get to, not high a day, but high of these levels right there. So again, that sucks. But again, we got back in, so we got, we lose about 15 or 20 cents there on that, but getting back in creates this movement. So great little trade there. Again, long at 150 off that bottom, out 150.40, out 150.70, out 151.20. Well, what is moving around there? For what?
No, Man U just put a huge wick top in. So that just, okay, I'm out of Man U now, but yeah, whatever just happened on Man U, it was barcoding off that 18 level, it was just scalping, and then it just goes to 18.50. Brendo, what's up, bud?
Couple things on this. They're apparently trying to enlist David Beckham for this deal to go through. That is from the Financial Times. There was also a note out earlier from Benzinga suggesting, I don't know how they came up with this, but the Manchester United to be worth somewhere between $29.38 per share and $34.98 per share. So very specific prices for, again, that's Benzinga, $29.38 to $34.98, guys.
Well, that's significantly higher than the $18.35 that I just sold at it for. So, anyways, but the thing, look, I don't know where they're getting that from either. And when you hear a number like that, okay, well, the deal still actually has to happen. Someone has to decide they want to pay for it. There has to be an official tender, and then a lot of things have to happen. But I'm going to get right back on the bid. I mean, maybe if it's not even $18. The last time it was dipped to 17.75, that was a previous high. And then when it broke 18, you just take the channel and then take the breakout and start dipping off the 18 level. So if the same pattern holds, I'll be looking for a dip here at about 18.25 to 18.30. So I'll go for that first, and even if that doesn't break or doesn't hold, then I'll just play the 18 level. It's only been going one way. So getting away from it doesn't really make any sense. Man, it's like the gift that keeps on giving. Is that a free kick? I look up there and I'm like, yeah, free kick. It's probably already happened.
Oh, so. Yeah, it already has. Yeah.
I'm watching the match, but it's like, I can just turn my head and Sean's got it more live, I said. Yeah. More live, for real.
Liver. Yeah, okay, so what's up to Joe? Thank you so much, Joe Carbone. I mean, thank you so much for the super chat. That $50, I mean, we'll go awesome. Thank you so much for that, man. I hope your trades are going well for you, and I wish you and your family, obviously, a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching. Mr. Joe Carbone there, probably a paisan, so what's up to Joe? Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, Mark Knight, for over 3 months right now. That's amazing. Hey, thanks for coming back every day, man. You're only here for 3 months. That's fantastic. Thanks again for re-upping the membership, and again, thanks, Joe, for that, man. Enjoy. Thank you so much for the super chats, and if you super chat, maybe you get better luck in your trades there, but you don't need to do that. So thank you so much again for all the support here that we currently have. I was just about to tweet this out, actually. You can follow me at Twitter, and I was just going to talk about patience and waiting for your levels to come through. Despite it being a slow day, despite me being long everything else, I take this in the face of all my other positions. And it's just like, have confidence in your abilities, have confidence in your chart reading, have confidence in things that you've looked at before, right? And I mean, you can't just sit in this chair for 21 years and then be like, here comes the stock. I'm not sure if I want to take it. I mean, sometimes that happens, and I'll tell you, I just wished it was my full position. We were waiting for a little bit more, and I was going to talk about that as well in the tweet, but there it is, a nice move to the downside. Unfortunately, I don't have these wicks down. That's a mistake. I feel like this could go through 79 right now, so watch out. Look at the market, and it's great because look at our meta. Like, we're long. Look at meta. Okay, meta. I mean, and this is why you take shares. Like, this is why I take shares, so I can do exactly this. It's being able to get in and out, average in, average out, get better positions. We have very, very little. I've made today over, let me just make sure that's right, about 190 trades or so today, and I'm paying $37 in fees. So it's not very many fees to pay when you're trading here on a prop floor. So we have direct market access, and in fact, when I'm adding liquidity, like when that just came up and got me out at 48, I was sitting there on the offer taking those fills, right? So I'd get credit for that. And it's just when I mark it in, like all of my positions, when it's breaking levels, I'm putting in like an aggressive limit order to make sure I get shares. Those are the ones that we wind up paying for. But all right, that's that. We're still watching out for AMD. It's trying to go back to the upside. If we're lucky enough to get that fill again, we'll do that. But again, long, flip short, flip long out there. Let's see if AMD wants to go up to the upside. Wow, Meta has really just got to break through 112.50, and I think this really goes, guys.
Yeah, it just got a fresh high. Well, I mean, everything's going to be a fresh high on Alphabet at this point. So on the way to 99, it just got halfway there, got 51s. It just spiked up to 71, so I just took that one out there. And I'm going to get the rest out at 99. I'm going to try and dip buy, but I'd rather dip buy at an even better price. So if it comes back in, I'll probably look for that 40 level as it's been gliding higher here. So you want to stay net long this name. I got some intel. Well, I actually didn't get any more intel, but it's a firm that'll concern me at this point. So you saw Man U. Sometimes that happens, right? Like if you got to take profit, just sort of sitting out there, right? You're long a stock, you're sitting on the offer at a price, then news hits, like something else that just goes out of hand, suddenly you can just get taken out of your position. Like if I could have canceled that offer on Man U, I would have done so and just taken an extra 15 cents. But that's just not how the market works. But here comes 13.25 on a firm. The only regret I'll have is that I wasn't short this the last 2 days. Every single day, you basically could short this level. It hasn't broken yet, but I think it's going to take out this quarter at some point. Then we'll just have to get out of it. Intel, bit of a different story. I talked about Tesla there for an opportunity on maybe a dip buy. And it's just, at this point, I'm going to back away from Tesla. Alphabet is moving a little bit better. It's breaking through the tops. You're still kind of sitting in the pocket here on Tesla. So I'm going to get away from that one. It just doesn't feel like it wants to go anymore. On the other hand of the coin, like I just missed. Again, I'll cancel this bid here in front of 274 because I did just miss on that dip on Microsoft, and it's been putting in higher lows. I'll go back to this well. If we come back and do another dip somewhere in this 247.50 range, I'll look for it to make a bit of a turn, jump into a long there, and try to play it to the high. But you keep rejecting the top, and then it gives you these trades sort of over and over again. As I say that, it's like I was on the precipice of getting punched out, and then a firm decided to hold. So it's held the high. Looks like the level's pretty solid.
All right, we're going to take out, and yeah, good call on a firm. I know you're always looking at that for the short, for sure.
Well, not always.
Not always.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's been going. Some of these names, like DraftKings back over 15 again. I mean, there's lots of opportunities to trade a lot of these names one way or the other. I mean, we can check out Palantir in a minute as well. We will go back over to Tesla. I mean, the problem is I'm not in Tesla, so I know there's a lot of people talking about that. It's a great great and big 7% move today back in. It was only a matter of time before that name got going again. A lot of love for Tesla, obviously, and that's going to continue to work for a lot of traders there. My Alibaba bid, I don't know. I mean, the market is pulling down a little bit here, is it? Or is it not? Not really. And Alibaba's kind of holding upside here. This 59 doesn't seem to want to break either. So hopefully it can come back down. And I am sitting here at 50 right now for Alibaba. But that's 50. You know what? I'm just going to take a 59. You know what? I'll just take a 60. I don't know. It seems like it wants to hold. Ooh, it just went up. See what I'm saying? You just saw me put a bid at 60, and all of a sudden 61 came with size, right? So hopefully that can come down and fill us there. Meta, we just took it out at 40. You just saw me do that as well. I better cancel that Alibaba. Oh, we just got that fill at Alibaba, so there it is. We just got a 60 fill, and now I was waiting for 53, as you guys remember, but I wanted to take that out there. So now we only have 20% left on Alibaba. But that's been a good trade for us today as it hovers around the 50 period. Let's get out of that one. We're already out of Apple. There's the out. It did go a little higher, so we're okay with that. AMD, AMC, okay. I didn't realize that. That went to 85 there. All right, AMC, all right. I'm going to take out another piece now at 80. We're long at 59. I mean, it's going to be hard to sort of complain about this. It's been a great trade today for AMC. Just not enough trades. There's the out. We just got out at, I'll show you, sorry. We just got out at 80. It just sort of, I guess, there it goes, upside. So out at 80 right there. We do have one piece left for, well, we could get out more, but we'll wait to see if AMC goes to the upside. That was sort of my logic, was that maybe we test 8 again. We held it to 8. I mean, we got out at 95 once we realized that there was too many tops up here. That was one of the best outs for me there, was getting out at 95. The top is 98. There, and then it faded back in. We got out when it broke the 50 period there, and then now we've been getting out on any sort of a bump up, right? So there it is. We took that first bid there at 675, and then we averaged in, and then since then, nothing but love to the upside for AMC. And again, I just want to hold it, see if we take 8. That's all. It was up there before, it didn't take it. If it does this time, maybe we get some momentum to the upside. Brennan posting about oh, you're on DWAC right there.
Oh, I was just about to look for locates on DWAC, because when I see DWAC move this much, I mean, it just made a pretty decent spike to the upside. I'm usually looking for the fade opportunity, like where can I short this one off the highs? I look back to yesterday. Now, I didn't trade yesterday, but I can see there's a 24 break, there's a wick top, there's a rejection of that level. Next candle closes right here about 23.75. But it's all about how expensive the locates will be. Like, it's not going to be free to short. We trade the actual shares. We're not trading options or anything. So sometimes it's not easy to borrow, and you've got to pay to be able to borrow the shares, sell them into the market, and then buy them back. That's how shorts work. So it's not going to be free. I'm going to go ahead and price those. But it would be that 24 rejection of the 24 level. That's what I'm looking for here on DWAC. Disney just pulled back. And it looks like it bounced off 99 a little bit there. Still in the top of the channel there. So I don't want to chase it too far. I've already got Google off the high. I've added to Intel again because that's what I do. It looks like it keeps challenging this little top. I have a 15-minute up, which I think shows it a little bit better than just sticking with the 3-minute. But if you look at what's going on here at about 28.70 or so, you just have a couple of wicks, keep getting here, rejecting it, and then the bottom has been this 50 to 60. So I want to be getting out in the 50s to 60s, shorting in that 70 range over there on Intel. So this has been a good one more or less all day long. However, it's worth mentioning, I didn't start shorting Intel until after I'd given up on NVIDIA and got burned over in NVIDIA. Sometimes you got to be able to get away from something to get into something good. Brendo.
Just check. I'm not seeing anything new on this, but this coupe starting to get going a little bit here. Trying to test these highs anyways right now. A little bit of volume coming back into coupe. If you missed it earlier, Vista Equity apparently interested in a deal to acquire this one.
Del Boca Vista, or like they're just kidding. So when I think Luca got a nickname when he filled in, someone called him Leisure Suit Luca, but I think that's because he looked like Morty. And he's been making trips to Del Boca Vista. But anyways, this is very similar to Man U. The more I look at it, it's like, okay, well, if I'm trading Man U and trying to trend it to the upside on deal speculation, this is new, obviously, but it's been doing a similar thing here, just kind of gliding higher. Now, the difference is you've got to be able to understand the different risk. Like, it'll have a 15 to 20 cent spread on the stock. So in Man U, it's like you can go long 1803, 1805 into 18 even, or like, and risk 5 pennies clean, know you're going to get it, and it'll glide in those ranges. You have to open things up a bit because your slippage is going to be 30 to 40 cents here potentially on every single long. So if you were to grab a VWAP long here, and let's say you got 58.75, and you're like, oh, I'm not going to get out till 58. Well, that's like $1 worth of risk in that particular case, as long as you sort of size that accordingly. The 59 looks pretty solid. I'm not chasing this up $1.50. I'm not sure that makes a ton of sense. But speaking of Man U, this is still the name. I'm on the bid here. Yeah, I'm just not getting the fill on the bid. But I've been trying to get back into this one. First at 25, so I actually moved it in here, and we'll try to get some 30s just in front. I actually just got some 32, so it just gave me a little bit of a fill finally, and hopefully we can consolidate and hold this last high. This has worked all afternoon, but I will acknowledge, when you stair-step upside, taking consolidation, break, consolidation, break, consolidation, I didn't get the last break because it was on news. A lot of times the last trade can be a losing trade. And when you play that trend, you kind of are just accepting the fact that that last trade can be a loser. I don't really have an issue with it. I've decided that's where I want to be. You make your bed, you have to be able to line it as well. But Disney is at least a name. Yeah, here it goes. Another lower high. You know what it feels like to me? It feels to me like Disney might be at more risk of actually dipping here. Because you've got a wick top. It just held 99. It couldn't get back to the high of the day. And it's almost like you're rejecting a lower high, and the market can't get through the high of the day. Like, just, I don't know. I feel like Disney might have almost come too far here. And then you have overhead resistance on the daily. It's already shown you some rejection at these levels. I just think there could be some sellers up here in Disney. I'm kind of talking myself out of any Disney longs.
All right. Danger in the Canada game the other way. So hopefully we don't have to make an announcement that it's 2-0, hopefully. Okay, so I know you just talked about Disney. Is there anything else you guys want to watch out here? Yeah, there was some report about Disney and Apple merger. I think we might have broke that. I mean, Brendan broke that story, but I don't think it was ever like Apple. I mean, Brendan can confirm it. He read the story. I'm wondering, you know, the best thing for them to do, Apple's never buying, like we talked about them buying, they're not gonna buy out Disney. Like what the heck is Disney's market cap? That wouldn't make any sense to me. What I would think that they could do is merge. You know what I'm saying? So like basically get rid of Disney Plus, put it on Apple, like figure out a platform whereby maybe it's like a one subscription type of thing. And then if they wanted to share content, like for example, Ted Lasso could be something that.
I mean, Disney's got all the content.
Oh, Disney has tons. That's what I'm saying. So Disney would be the content sort of provider. And then maybe Apple could help out with the streaming side of things or whatever, because obviously.
Successfully running a business side of things.
I don't know, but the thing is like Apple has such a big subscription base that, I mean, that's part of the reason why Apple works, right? Is they have such a huge subscription base. So if Apple and Disney are having those talks, to me, it makes a little bit of sense. But
yeah, the regulators are not.
Oh, you want an obituary for Mullen? People are asking for. So
is it at 20 cents yet?
Yeah, it's right there. So all right.
Oh, it is at 20 cents.
Yeah, it's right here at 20 flat. I'm just gonna scroll down to see if there's anything even at 20. I mean, all the size here doesn't really matter. You're talking about a penny stock, so it's just gonna rip through all these levels anyways. Look, I've already given the obituary to Mullen a while ago. We talked about if it didn't hold this 30. This is a 20-minute chart. Here's a daily chart. If we didn't hold this 30 level right there. Shoot, I just got me to zoom in a little bit more here because we've seen where Mullen came from. This 30 level was pretty key. Like, so I don't know why we're missing data there, but you know, it broke the last time, hit 22 and ripped back up. I feel like the minute you come back and test some of these levels right here, 30, like this level right here, after already going down, then coming back up, you don't want to like double bottom these all-time lows. And whenever that happens, I feel like you're just a matter of time here before we break below this $20 mark, $20 level there. I don't hate on this company. I don't really know that much about them other than what you guys know in the space, but it's downside there. The only problem with it, and it's not a problem, but you know, Mullen's going to have to get above $1. There are restrictions on the NASDAQ where you can't be a penny stock doing this kind of volume for very long before you need to reverse split and get back up to $1. And we all know what happens when stocks reverse split. That's basically the kiss of death. So
you have to these markets, you got to sweat it out for like at least one day when a reverse split, because a lot of these they get a run in the pre-market and people for whatever reason, I still don't understand why it happens. You get some of these penny stocks that reverse split these days, and day traders, and I guess some of these rooms will pump it up in the pre-market, and so they'll actually start going higher than makes any sense, and then it just starts dumping in the next couple of days. So they're going to probably have to do that. But this was the level where I was sort of saying to myself that if it bounces from here, yeah, then it makes sense for a short play. Because if it doesn't break 20 today, then you could be looking at something like a 22 or a 24 long, and your risk is down to maybe like 18 or 19 cents, and your risk reward gets pretty interesting. So I always like those types of ideas for a penny stock. It just, when it broke down, we were talking about this, and and again, it's more of a technical thing than anything else. I didn't want to come back over to Microsoft. I'll talk about the market, obviously. As the market comes back in, and I look at a firm, again, reject the high of the day. Somehow it doesn't want to break. Microsoft is getting back into this 247, now a 247.5. So this is where I was looking to see if it can do another bit of a curl. If it does a wick like it did before, I'll look to try and grab the next higher long, a higher low here in Microsoft. So I'm eyeballing that. And the same thing with Alphabet. Like, I'm already in Alphabet, but I'm looking to get more shares here down. I'm actually already on the bid here, trying to catch this 98.40. And there goes a firm. Eventually, a firm did break the high of the day. So I'll slap the fail on a firm. My regret will... I mean, I wasn't here yesterday to trade the short the firm at this price level, so I guess I couldn't have done it anyways. But my regret was not trading the same price level on Monday. Should have had this. I mean, it was a pretty good trade It not only broke down, but it then retested the pre-market low and failed from there. That's always a good setup that I'm a pretty big fan of. So when you get an A+ setup, of one of your A+ setups, and you don't actually take the trade, I always regret that.
Okay, I'm going to take a couple super chats here. Playmaker, what the hell are you doing? All right, Nicole Harris, I need a lesson. Bitcoin and crypto is up. Miner stocks are moving. The stock that runs with Bitcoin is weak. Is the stock being shorted? Mara. Okay, we'll look at Mara for you in a minute. And then here, red beans and rice and missa. Yeah, we know what that song is all about. Baby got back. So right there, that's the Playmaker shouting it out, boy. Yeah, you just trying to get me in trouble, my guy. So you better watch out right there, Playmaker.
There's a story somewhere.
I don't know. No, there really is. We literally sat.
Sounds like there's a story.
That's what I'm saying. I think I'm trying to get in trouble. I wish there was a story. I'd tell it to you guys. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I thought the fact that we met, we hung out, we took some cool videos, things like that. I think that was a lot of fun there. And then he said for some reason I was the coolest guy he met. And then the next thing I know, a week later, he sends me a picture of him and Lil Wayne chilling. And I'm like, are you sir? And he goes, and Vince Vaughn. I'm like, huh? But what's up to Playmaker right there? Sir Mix-a-Lot, definitely on that. That's even, that's a very popular song. It's one of our favorites. Even the wife loves that song. So definitely shout out to you, Playmaker, and Nicole Harris. You want to talk a little bit about Mara. So let's have a quick look at that. What is, Brent, if you could put in my ear or say something, what Bitcoin is up actually on the day anyways, we could try to find that out. Remember though, when you look at stocks are up on the day, right? Bitcoin is a 24-hour market, so don't take that lightly. Like Mara could be up today, and then Bitcoin, of course, moving a little differently. So there's Mara, even though it doesn't show up that much, it was still 6 yesterday, up to 640 today. So I don't know. I look at this chart, and honestly, I'm the wrong person to ask for a lesson in this because I've never really looked at the correlation between Mara and Bitcoin. But again, like Bitcoin is kind of making a move down and near bottoms for Bitcoin. So I feel like Mara is kind of moving this way. Remember though, okay, so Bitcoin's up 2.8%. So yeah, so that would make sense there. Why is Mara down? You have to remember something. When you're a mining company, hash rates and everything like that change for mining. So maybe it's become a little more difficult to mine as there's more and more miners. I think there's less now, but as Bitcoins become more rare, you're only gonna have 21 million, right? So my understanding is how hash rates work and things like that, it's getting more and more difficult. So maybe power consumption, things like that could be affecting names like Mara. So without doing any research into it, I want to thank you for the $5 in the super chat, but I don't really, you'd have to dig under the hood a little bit to why that's happening. I just go over to Hut 8 and Coinbase and things like that. Like Hut 8 makes sense why they're at their, I don't know if it's all-time lows, but if you're looking at Hut 8 here in just a second, you'll see it. This is really low for some of those reasons, right? Altcoins are just getting smashed. So since Sam Bankman-Fried has destroyed, the sector, basically, this was up at 250 and cruising, and then look at all these altcoins getting hit. I can tell you that relationship with Hut 8 as well. So that would make sense why they're up a little bit today. What's up, Brendo?
Just a minor note here we were just talking about Disney. This is from CNBC, guys. Bob Iger to hold a town hall meeting with employees on Monday. Not a huge deal, but worth a note. That opinion piece on Disney and Apple earlier was simply, I think, making the point that Bob Iger's not really a manager, if you will, and didn't come back to just manage Disney and maybe have some sort of ultimate plan or bigger plan for the company.
Okay, so it wasn't it wasn't that specific to anything. But either way, we'll have to see what happens with that. I still think there's going to be, we'll get some announcements from Iger as to things that I think he might want to change out a little bit there. So I'm on the bid now of Alphabet, but it looks like Microsoft could come into play a little bit better. So it's made that low. This is kind of what I was looking for on Softy. So I'm going to slip in here, see if I can't catch a bid. I don't want to chase it too far. Just got 51s. If I get another leg, I'd probably want it to be closer to like 40s on Softy. So I was looking for that to make a little bit of a bounce. The market gets back to the high. Respect the fact that it is, like, you're getting higher lows, but you're really putting in the exact same top. So you got to respect the high here on I almost said Alphabet. It's sort of a similar thing, but on Microsoft. So I want this to get back up to that 248, but I acknowledge the fact you've had some trouble breaking it out. There is less than 15 minutes, because it says 15 minutes left in the match, so I'm assuming it's less than that at this point, for Canada to pull out a miracle.
Which is you're not that far behind. Oh, it's about a minute. Yeah, it's about a minute and a half behind.
That's an eternity when you're watching
I
live
didn't,
sports.
because I just looked at it. I was like, oh man, we're running out of time as well. But you know what? I think Team
It's
Canada.
3:36.
I mean, for us to be 1-0 when it should be 1-1, and maybe even more than that, we'll hear about some of the.
Yeah.
I think we're doing pretty good against world number 2 Belgium right
I
now.
was
So
when I came in this morning. That's what I was sort of saying. I'd be happy if
Yeah.
we were just
Yeah.
a miracle would put
I
us
mean, a
within
draw
tying the
would be
match,
real
so.
nice.
If you
I
got
bet
a
you
draw-
Prad bet Canada, and he didn't make that bet with me. I told him I'd be his bookie any day if he wants.
You bet on
yeah, he bet on
Costa
Costa Rica,
Rica?
where they lost 8-0
Oh,
or something. I want to thank True Trading Group for a sponsor again. We had Mike on yesterday. Hit that link after the show, of course, if you're interested in those guys. It is a paid service, so we're not affiliated with them. They are a sponsor of the show, and good guys over there at True Trading Group. So thank you again for the sponsor. They do sponsor the first segment and the last segment of our shows. So thank you so much to True Trading Group for coming through one more time today on the sponsorship. My net is kind of just
Someone asked
hovering.
about Sox L.
Not much. Sox L. Yeah, I mean, I was just going to go over AMD. So Sox L again is the triple levered position for the semis, but ETF. I'm noticing my net was going down a little bit there. And I guess it's because AMD did come off that top right there. We should have respected that level again. Just like Apple. I mean, you could see my Apple trade. We're out of Apple. It came up to a level and we got out and didn't worry about it. We should have done the same thing there with AMD. So right now I'm kind of doing that. I'm just getting ready to get out of all these positions. Brennan's come with the imbalance locator, and it was $100 million to buy. So very, very, very small amount there on the imbalance locator today. So we'll have to wait for it, but here it is. It's fading out again. AMD's coming back to the downside. Meta we're almost out of, and that's just kind of hovering. So maybe there's an out coming for me on Meta as well. But yeah, look at Tesla.
It's later in the day than I had realized, to be honest with you.
340?
Yeah, I was sort of,
Yeah,
I kind of
I've
felt
been
that we had a
watching the
little-
clock. Oh, you weren't here yesterday. So this is the thing. So we're going to go, Neil, myself, Fahad, we're going to the Raptors game tonight. And the thing is, I said this yesterday, this could possibly be Fahad's last day here at Trader TV Live, because I just feel like when Kyrie and KD, because we're sitting really close, like when they realize that this guy's in the building and stuff like that, I mean, some of the YouTube videos that this guy
you
has,
don't have to troll him
like
like
it's
this.
kind of just like one of those things where I'm a little nervous.
It's just me.
I mean, 93.5% free throw shooting. That would be basically, that's Steph Curry.
You hear about his passing game?
What's the passing game, like Stockton?
He's such a good passer that everyone thinks he's LeBron James.
Right. I was going to say Chris Paul, John Stockton, stuff like that. But,
John Stockton.
combined.
Combined.
Yeah. So I'm just a little nervous that he gets handed a contract tonight, and then unfortunately Lucas is lone man tomorrow. So let's hope that doesn't happen tonight. But it should be a good game. Unfortunately, no Pascal Siakam.
Well,
but I don't know. I think Kyrie might be dressing up. I don't know. KD should be there. Brooklyn lost last night to Philly, and you know who Philly had not in their lineup? No Embiid,
no James Harden.
no James Harden, and no Maxey either. So, and they still lost last night.
Like, what is that? What are you doing?
Oh, did you hear this?
Jersey?
So Philly
Can't
is
lose to
hilarious. Philly is
Can't
probably,
lose
one of the better cities for like fans hating on other teams.
Good food, too.
I remember Ty Domi beat the living crap out of some Philly fan. He dragged over the penalty box.
better believe
But last night, if Ben Simmons ever missed 2 free throws in a row, everybody in the audience got free chicken sandwiches. So I don't know who sponsored that, and he
That's
did
a good
miss.
move, man. He
Yes,
can't shoot,
and
so-
he did miss 2 in a row. So everyone was going crazy yesterday.
be a bit of a pricey-
in Philly there. So
It's good advertising to whoever did it.
yeah, good move.
But
good out
he
on
really
Alibaba.
can't shoot.
Alibaba's come all the way back up. Oh, I just want to talk about this Alibaba trade because we're almost out of it. We got out of 20, 40, 60, 80%. So we have a small piece left. I'm just going to get out for flat. If this breaks out past 78, 85, we're gone. I'm not going to hold this against me into the end of the day when I have no idea what's going to happen with these imbalances, so on and so forth. So if that does come through, we are going to respect Alibaba and get out for flat as it just dropped back down. I just got to make sure, okay, good, I am not taking any more Meta shares, and I'm just getting ready to get out of everything. So it's been a great day here trading. We'll end the day near the highest spot we've been at all day, and so far so good here. Nice header in there. Beautiful save by the Belgian keeper there. I don't know what the pace was on that shot, but a good little save there.
You're even saying things like pace.
With only 10 minutes. Yeah, I haven't watched any soccer yet either. Oh, that was Laren, I guess, just missed that. Oh, too bad. Okay, so Meta, again, not going to average into this trade. And I'm thinking the same thing. If we take out some of these levels, let's just get out 112.15 on Meta. Let's just get out of there. Last thing I want are these imbalances to come out in 8 minutes and just do like this. We've already got stopped out of a couple trades with market doing that on those numbers. So let's not make it like 3 in a row. We'll get out of Meta if it takes down 112.10.
Yeah, I'm tightening up. This is the time of day I tighten up stops no matter what. And as a matter of fact, even on Intel, like I started shorting this in the afternoon show, thinking we get the low of the day, but the market hasn't really rolled over. So I did one scalp trade into 56 and then started shorting 70s, but I haven't taken anything out because it's only really gone a couple of cents for me. So I now finally have a bid here sitting a little bit tighter. But as long as my stop is up here, it takes out 75, I'm out anyways. And I'm going to give this one into the close, but I'm not going to reload Alphabet or Microsoft. If the market breaks higher, I'll give them a chance to run, but I'm tightening the stops on both of those as well. And if you're still watching, I know AMC made a bit of a move there as well. I know we're watching some Coinbase and some crypto we were just talking about, but Coinbase, high a day and breaking higher. So yeah, you can't keep a good, I can't even finish that. So the stock is making a pretty good rebound. I don't know what we'll see on Friday. Just remember, Friday is a half day in trading. There is no market. The U.S. markets are closed. There are markets that are open tomorrow, but not the U.S. markets. So you don't look at these things until Friday when it's a half day and volumes will be pretty light. But I suspect this is going to be making a move, and I suspect if it's anywhere near 50, you can probably guess what I'll be doing on Friday with this one. But it is in the midst of a breakout. I would never take this break at 344 in front of a holiday because I'm not sure it has the follow through to go through. But that does set up pretty well, this 46 break.
All right, someone want to talk about COSM, so we'll do that right now. He said, pull it up. Yeah, I saw that yellow card. I don't know. I wasn't watching it, but I did see that we just got one, so it looks like that might be a problem. It's near the box for Belgium, but it's a free. It's a free kick. It's not a penalty, I don't think. Okay, okay, so here's what is this name again? Yeah, Cosmos Holdings. Great name, great symbol. COSM here. You can check it out on a 3-minute chart. I mean, I've sort of changed up my layout for everybody just to show you like what I look at and things like that instead of me always looking up at my charts on the upside there. We'll just give you guys a complete visual. Nice little move there. You can see when the volume started to pick up once the market opened up to 65. Since then, faded all day right back to where we were yesterday at 30 cents. So I'm not in this name, nor do I really know anything about it, but yeah, you are breaking lower here. And look, it's about to break right now, 33. So I would just watch out. Like if you're in this name, yesterday's top is 33. It gave him back everything it was already up today. Name was up 80%. So now you're only up 4. I would just be careful with all of that here on Cosmos. If you break down below 30, then I mean, who knows where you go from there. There's yesterday's high. You're right back into that level. Again, I don't know. I don't know how much. Like I would think you would be playing this game, with no real serious capital unless you know something about it. So if you're going to play like that, just be very, very careful of when it breaks these levels. It's already upside there. There's definitely traders caught here. I just always say watch out because the next level, like if it takes that, you could open tomorrow at 25, which is another 20% down, and then you're starting to look to say, oh, where do I get out? So sometimes it's easy to make the quick decision.
Ooh, speaking of quick decisions.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Sometimes the best trade you can make is to get out when the getting is good. Tighten up the stop at the right time on Alphabet. It just took out break even for me. So it gave you the halfway there to the high. But we're living on a prayer if you think you get the high of the day there. Played that for my daughter at dinner the other day, and she was just absolutely loving it. She loves that song. Same thing on Microsoft, right? This is not me going short. This is me covering my long position, but I had to take profit out, so marked it as short. I'm out. I'll have Intel short going, and now I can just go to leave my bids on Intel. If the market's going to reverse even further, I'll just leave my bids that are already out. My stop will only get tighter, so it's a 75. When it gets to 350, I'll probably move it down here closer to 70, which will be about break even for me. So I'll hold on to this one at that high of the day. I talked about Disney not going long because I talked myself out of the long and probably should have just jumped into the short because it felt like it was really running out of steam. It bounced off 99 and then made a lower high, which usually would be a short setup for me. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't like that enough to jump into it. It was enough to get away from that notion of a long, but it wasn't enough for me to jump short. I'm not sure why that is. Should have just gone over to that one and shorted it pretty much right away. About 3 minutes till we get the imbalances. I'm not expecting a heck of a lot, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some sell balances in some of the tech names.
Yeah, we'll wait to see. It was 114 million to buy, so I don't think that's gonna. We have 86 minutes in the 87th minute right now. Still 1-0 Belgium. I don't mean to be breaking it to everybody, but I think I'm even delayed myself on this feed. So, all right. Without making a mistake now, I just want to show everybody. Look where Meta bounced off of. It bounced right off VWAP, but that's fine. We got out at 112.10, just like we said we would for basic. I mean, winning trade on Meta 100%. We didn't have that many shares. We literally had 10% left of that trade, so that was a good out for me, and everything was working out pretty good there. BOBA fell down. AMD, the same trade we made again, broke down through 76. We got it out right there. Just putting all that in our pocket again off these longs. Good out there, out for flat right there. Same price I'm in at, we're out at. So that was a good trade there. And again, I just don't need to be in this. With light volume, it's going to be a good day for us today. I want to thank everybody for watching. Quick look on the like button here. We only have 2 minutes left, so we are getting pretty close.
Balances.
Till balances, yeah. So right there, only 879 likes. Like we used to get thousands there. I know there's less people watching right now, only 43%. Definitely get your 30% off trade ideas as well, the only people that we are affiliated with. But hit that like button. Let's get that over 1,000 at least. Who's going to be the 1,000th person to hit the like? I already did. There's 936. We're getting up there again. Let's see if we can get that going. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And one more time, thank you for watching.
As a matter of fact, it just hit the 1,000. I think I was pretty close. I can't actually tell if I was a 1,000 like, but I think
that's too hard.
I think I was pretty close to it. But we're gonna get to bounces in just a quick second. I did just start getting out of Intel toward the downside. But the takeaway for me, and I said I liked Nvidia 163, and Intel 30 was obviously a much better trade this morning. And everybody is accountable. To not just to, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to have winning and losing trades, but you got to be able to learn from them. So I liked 163 on Nvidia. You can see the strong trend it's been into that upside, but I like the level on the 15 minutes. So that's why I was in it, scalp it, get back in, wick top, get in, make wick top again, and then it just starts trending higher. But that last entry point was right about 9:45 when I said, it's not making sense to me. I'm going to get away from the stock. You'll see it start dumping at 11 o'clock. And it's not to say that I couldn't have gone back over to Nvidia, but the stock that had made sense to me had been Intel. So when Nvidia starts dumping, I jumped over to the name that was relatively weak, never broke the high of the day, and then went into that. And it's been a source of positive trades for me pretty much on the short side for like a few months now. So you got to be able to pivot a little bit. And if you have a bad read on a stock, you don't have to trade that stock. Just find something better to trade that is successful for you. There's so many different names out there in the market. There's a style of trade for everybody. There's small caps, big caps, medium caps, penny stocks. There's something out there, and maybe something different speaks to you than the first thing you look at. And a lot of times, getting stuck on trading that one thing can be a mistake.
All right, looks like Canada's got a corner here in the last minute of play, but here it is right now. We have a last minute of play for the market as well. Alibaba with a sell, so that's good. We're short Alibaba. Doesn't seem to want to move right now. Apple with the bid, probably reaching this market to new heights right now. Just joking, I don't think we're going to get to new heights. But there goes Apple up 1 million shares, so there's a little bump there. We start at 70, we go to 90, so a good little bump there for Apple. Pins, AMD's a buy. Oh, we're out of that name as well. The only thing that we have left on board here is, unfortunately, is just going to be BOBA, which is actually a sell, and AMC, which is not going to be on here, I don't think, anyways, as I look. So, yeah, so far so good here. To wrap up the day, I don't know what that final number was there. It was 800 million to buy from Brendo. So Google a bid as well. That's kind of bumped up there. Starbucks a bid. There's really not much to show you. Apple sort of leading the way to the upside there, touching 151, probably fades back in a little bit. But that's that. We'll check in on Alibaba. That's still 30 cents in the money and trying to break lower. We're holding on to that. And I might just get out of my AMC. I guess that last, I was hoping out for this one. Looks like that last bump's not going to happen. So we'll just take it out here on AMC and take 13 pennies, or sorry, 11 pennies on this and be happy with it and just get out of AMC. We tried it at 8, didn't come through. So we'll wait for that.
Yeah, the second that buy and bounce came through, I just took out the rest of the Intel trade. And of course, a lot of times that'll happen. And then it'll just, now it's drifting back in. So it dipped down to 60, came right back into 63. I just got it out at that price. Now, it might come lower, but with 8 minutes to go on light volume, I'd rather not just take a trade and hang on to it against what it seemed like was going to be a push to the upside. Not a heck of a lot happened when that Apple and bounce came out. I mean, it was a small bounce. No, I don't think enough to really move the needle here. So I'd say a bit of a disappointment. But you didn't expect to have big imbalances. But when something came out of nowhere for 1.2, I kind of thought maybe Apple could have shown you something off of that bid. It would have been a little bit more interesting if it had been doing that, guys. Obviously, we wish everybody the best for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
But stay tuned. So Sean and I are going to be doing a little something. We talk a lot about sports, but we're going to do a bit of a ditty for you guys on our picks, just talking about some football. So do look out for that if you want to get some interesting content. You probably can guess what I'll say about the Buffalo game, but I'll try to give some honest analysis that doesn't have too much of a bias in there. Even though you know where my bias is.
Yeah, that'll be hard to do.
What do you want? I mean,
it's all good. It's all good. Well, hey, we're going to pick against the spread.
I'm Bill's Mafia, baby. So.
Yeah, we're going to pick against the spread. So we're going to see some of the plays might surprise you. Join us tomorrow. We'll release that video. Hit the subscribe button. You'll get that. Some fun stuff happening. Yep. I got a couple player props there as well. So that should be really fun. As we are only in the 5 minutes of extra time right now. We'll see if Canada can push it for Belgium. But there it is. Alibaba did make that low. So, hey, I'm getting close to getting out of this name. I mean, it's been a good move to the downside here for Alibaba. Ooh, I got to cancel my AMD position. We don't have any there. I got to cancel all this. We got out of AMC, like we said, so the only trade that we have on left, as you can see on the board for me, is Alibaba. It's the last position for both of us into the weekend. So I'm not going to be here Friday. We'll be chopping down some trees. That should be exciting for Christmas. And then everyone, make sure that you do enjoy, obviously, your Thanksgiving. As we said that over and over again, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that super chatted today. Definitely, means a lot to us. They keep the show going with that stuff as well. So, yeah.
You can guess what I'll be wearing in the football video, Playmaker. Thank you for that. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Big one.
But, I'm going to throw that one down. But thank you guys so much. Obviously, someone just said, "Look at Cal." Like, I don't mind. I'm fine. I just got out of my last positions there. So another penny stock upside. I don't know the story here, and maybe if there's something here, Brennan can let me know. But yeah. Not a great looking daily chart, but it is fulfilling the whole barcoding at 7 or 8 cents beneath 10 cents and then making a bit of a run to the upside. Okay. I mean, I need to see what the story is, because a lot of times when you get a double up like this, you're thinking take it going into a holiday on light volume. There's no news. According to Brendan, there's no news on this. So you see it do a clean double up from last consolidation, 7, 8 cents, give the double, and then start to pull back. It's going to close on the highs, but I'd be a little bit concerned on Friday on light volume that it might give a hurrah in the pre-market and then go when there is no news on it. It just went the wrong way, but the daily chart's going to say most of the story. For these penny stocks, when you get what you're looking for with a 2Xer, sometimes you want to get out of Dodge. And this thing basically gapped from 20 cents anyway, so it's probably going to find resistance at 20. That's just technically looking at it. I started out as a penny stock trader. Well, I didn't. When I first started trading as a prop trader, I did do momentum trading for the first 2 or 3 months, and I got slightly profitable. But I wasn't doing all that great. Got suggested to look at some lower price stocks and did really well with that. So that's where I started out trading, and I remember seeing setups like this all the time. And you'd play that trend until it basically got to this level, and then you'd be looking for shorts, and that was like the standard play. So I kind of always have that lens on as a day trader.
All right, getting into the close there right now. I want to give a big shout out to Beat Fanatic, man. 5 months. Thank you so much for your kind words. Have a great weekend with yours as well. And he says Unity with a little sprinkle there on top as well. So shout out to you guys. Oh, another member right here. What's up, Jack Source? Welcome to Trader TV Live. You've now found the best source for entertainment and trading, all wrapped into one every single day. We put a lot into the show, so I want to thank everybody. There's True Trading Group again at the top, so thank you to them as a sponsor one more time here. They're going to blow the whistle.
Over.
That's it. We lost. Yep, it's over. So that's it. 1-0 L for Team Canada. What?
First time in the World Cup in 36 years, playing literally one of the best teams in the world that nobody gave us much of a chance, and you only lose 1-0? That's a good effort, man. They put up a good effort, it looks like. You make that, think about it, you make that penalty shot. It's just what could have happened if you made that penalty shot.
Yeah, everything would have changed, I guess.
It's not like he sailed it over the crossbar. Like, it was the goalie.
No,
the goalie made a guess and he guessed right.
I think people are going to think it wasn't the greatest penalty, but it wasn't the worst either. So, okay, so yeah, we'll wait to see our next game. I don't even know when it is. That goes to show, here in Canada, we like our sports, but soccer is not one of the top ones, but it should be, and it's going to get there soon, especially if we keep playing really well. Okay, Alibaba right now. I'm just going to put a bid out here and just close this trade. What a good ending day to this one right here. We put it there. We go. We'll just punch out right there at 38. So we just punched out there. Ending that trade, that's about short at 82, out at 38. I mean, could have held it for the whole thing, but that's a nice little move into the imbalances there, into the close. So there's Alibaba all the way to the downside, well taken. That was really the only damage that we put on here at the end of the day. We did have, all the other positions that we already had. We got out of those pretty quick. So that was good, man. Good close, made some money here for you. And I mean, that's not really the point. The point is to, show you some trades that we like, why we like them, and to educate a little bit on that. So good trading today. Thank you to everybody. We do know that we knew there was going to be a little bit of light volume today. Probably that was true. We should have like a volume counter on the market so I can judge that a little bit more. That would be good.
Yeah, what did the SPY do today? Because I know it was like
I don't know. I don't know what relative
By the way,
volume.
when you said Unity, I'm like, oh, that was like Unity because of Rick James. I pull up the stock and the chart looks pretty interesting. So
yeah.
I mean, the daily chart, look at Unity on the daily, bouncing off the 50-period clean a few times, supporting 32, and then you had this top at 37. Like that's pretty good resistance level. We're at 36. I just wrote Unity 37 down on my iPad, so when I come in on on Friday, come back on Friday, this will be one of the first things I look at. Unity up 8%. So there you go. You never really know where you get an idea from. Sometimes it's completely random like this was.
Yeah, Unity's a good one. We had some good shout outs yesterday for some of the names in the chat as well. So yeah, okay, here we go, man. End of the day with only a couple minutes left. Let's just take a quick look at the imbalances in case anybody has any interest in these. Taiwan semi downside, it looks like on the sell side. What did that do to the stock here quickly? We'll just call the stock up. Well, there it is. So yeah, nice little move down there for Taiwan, Alibaba.
Well, Manu doesn't stop.
Looks like we got a good out for Alibaba there, as it looks like it's trying to fade back a little bit here, Baba. So that looks like that's going to be a good out. Other than that, man, things are pretty calmed down. Morgan is here as a bid. Manu still ripping?
That's unbelievable. The last trade I took, I was like everything else, you just sort of break out in the consolidation and stop out of the consolidation, and it just makes another high. If you just held everything against you, it doesn't matter. You actually didn't hold it that far against me. I'm too tight of a stop. But $19 now. That Benzinger report that Brendan said.
Right.
I don't know where they get their numbers from, but obviously if a deal gets done north of $27, this is an absolute steal where it's trading, but it continues to grind higher. I thank Sharif because I wasn't really looking at this stock, and then he kept talking about it. I'm like, let's look at Manu. Strong move to the upside. Maybe it's getting some sympathy because of the World Cup and the heat on it, but this is one to watch for Friday as well. Markets are closed tomorrow, by the way. We got about 20 seconds. Justin is going to be on the bell in the nice plaid shirt. I still need to get a better plaid shirt than the ones I got. We're wearing our red. I think we're the only ones that did do so here for Team Canada. But in 5, get the camera on, Justin. 4, 3, 2, and...
All right.
I expected a red wave. I thought everyone was going to wear red
I told
today.
you.
I was surprised.
That was part of my beef.
I was only ever wearing one shirt when I came in today, but...
That was part of the beef. It's so strange.
All
right, good day today, I feel like. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the subscriptions. One more time, follow us on Twitter, of course. Sign up for our watch list daily. Giving you all these ideas that we had every single day on the watch list completely for free. Over 35,000 people registered on that one. All right, let's go over to Brendan quickly. What's up, Brendo?
We ended off in the green, guys. We'll take it. Here we go. 0.6 for the S&P, the Dow. 0.3, the Russell, all three of them, 1, 2, 3 in positive territory, was the NASDAQ all day leading the way, ends off that way as well. Full percent, we'll call it, for the composite in the 100.
Yeah.
Someone's giving me a hard time.
Up 1%.
They're like Neil said, red wave. You know exactly what I meant.
Yep.
You all know what I meant.
So conservative on that. But Canada, of course. There it is right there. So, I don't know. I mean, the wrap would come on Friday, I guess, if you get a certain amount of likes.
Yeah, we hit the target on Friday. Yeah, it's a Friday.
I mean, you did it with Pratt. I don't think you guys hit the target. Did you last week?
We got to 15 or 16. It got close, but then Fahad was Fahad said, Neil, do it. and I'll show my face. I'm like, okay. Well,
Okay, that's good
I
enough.
was like, yeah,
Yeah.
like if Fahad wants to do that, I'm like, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'll do that for sure.
I honestly feel like, I mean, we used to get a lot more likes for that rap. So I don't
It's
know.
the
I don't
afternoon
know,
show
man.
in
If
general,
they're not,
man.
if they're not showing up
Well,
for
no,
that,
it was 1,500. We hit it consistently. We moved the bar up to 2,000, and since
Yeah,
then, we just don't get to the new bar. So it's
unbelievable.
We raised the bar and got less bars.
that's right, and we should be getting more bars.
Unintended.
Yeah, and good intention on that
that
one.
was
All
an
right, guys,
accident.
it's 4:01. We're going to go film our NFL show. That should be a lot of fun for sure. Thanks, Lucas, today. Thanks, Fahad, today. Thanks, Brendan. We had Sharif and Trader Prad, of course, on the midday show. So lots of shout-outs to them as well. But, yeah, look, for everybody here, have a very, very happy Thanksgiving, man. I mean, to you and yours. Celebrate it. Enjoy all the time. The markets aren't going anywhere. They'll be back on Friday. So, all right, I think we've all sort of said it. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. So I'll say it for everybody again. It's 4:02, so we got to wrap this up. Stay tuned for the trade of the day. That's coming pretty hot fire. And stay tuned for our picks tomorrow as well on
Yes,
YouTube.
sir.
So get ready for that. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and you'll get notified of that. We're going to give you a couple winners tomorrow if you're watching some football. So make sure to check that out. But for everybody here at Trader TV Live, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll check all of y'all on Friday.